What's good, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Bacchanal podcast, a fusion of hip-hop, video games, comics, movies, and nerd culture, all rolled up into one spectacular show. Join your hosts, me, K to the C, alongside Akil, each week as we discuss
the Confederate Canuck,
while adding our Trinidadian Canadian spin on it.
There you go.
Nerd news like you never heard before. We back, baby. So what's good, Akil? What's happening?
Good, man. What if there was a Confederate Canadian?
Oh, Lord, I'm sure there is one.
There probably is one.
From the 50s or something.
Damn.
Just repping like a Toronto man that's a Mets fan. When we got the Blue Jays, when you like the Mets, it's like, what? You know what I'm saying?
Crazy times, man.
Hey, man,
the election.
A lot of these people, like I said before, a lot of these people that are in this politics shit now are sports fans, like football fans and wrestling fans. That's why they're getting a knuck if you buck on the block.
Oh, yeah.
That's why they're going crazy.
Tribalism comes from that, man.
Yeah, man. So, hey, I could see it happening here. We got some Canuck that's got the Confederate T-shirt or tat or something.
Oh, God. I should sell that for these jackass Canadians, man.
Holy, so what's good, cuz? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Keeping up with this election. I'm happy right now.
Yeah.
It's not even because of the election. You want to know why I'm happy?
Why you happy? Ooh, he got
Slight
it.
flex, baby. PS5.
He got it. He got it, guys. Rob him. Get the
slight flex. I mean,
how you feel about it? How do you like it? That thing, that DualSense is beautiful. I don't care what
heavy.
Says.
I like the controls.
The battery's
bigger. I
bigger.
don't like the buttons. They feel sunken in.
Yeah. I like them.
Yeah,
I get what you mean.
Feel a little sunken in, but I like the weight. I like the has like textured grip on the back, like what Xbox does.
Yeah,
and there's like a sharpness. Look at this.
Yeah, and you see
side corner, you can shave your beard with it.
You see the X's, the crosses, and the circles inside of it indented. It's the little details they put in that thing.
Details that nobody's going to appreciate. Now,
I think they made the buttons concave, like smoother to the surface of the controller, because they realized people aren't in the Nintendo and Super Nintendo days no more when you used to use the pencil to click things faster. I don't know if people, our generation's done with all that. So they're like, people aren't even doing that shit no more. We can put the buttons nice and smooth now. It's a beautiful controller.
Smooth. There's a microphone in the front and there's a microphone in the back too.
Yes, you can hit it from both sides. You can
and
double
then
up on
you
that
can
bitch.
use that snitch feature. So if I'm playing Call of Duty and they call me the N-word, I can record it and be like, ooh, and then send it in. Ooh, getting you.
The reviews for the PS4 actually went live on Friday, so everybody could see what all these IGNs and GameSpots are giving the system. The Xboxes got the reviews also 2 days ago, and both are doing great. So I'm happy to hear that. Both got 8 out of 10s, 9 out of 10s. So that's a beautiful thing to hear. At the beginning of a console lifespan, you want to hear good things about it because it's only going to go up from there, right? You know what I mean? So I'm excited about that.
I like PS4's launch titles right now. With they got Dark Souls and they got Spider-Man got a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
They haven't reviewed Dark Souls yet, but
not yet.
I'm guessing.
I am excited I'm tempted to get Dark Souls, even though I bought Dark Souls when it first dropped for $9 because it was so unpopular. Walked into a Walmart, the thing was $20 and it was on sale for half price. And I was like, Dark Souls, I'm gonna try it out. I ended up loving that game. I never beat it, but I ended up loving that game. I'm very tempted to get it now because it has the online, when you're stuck somewhere, you could ask, how do you
you can ask for help. That feature that you spoke of.
Exactly.
And they ran.
They put that thing in there. So I am very excited I'm very tempted to get that game now and finally beat it with the beautiful 4K.
But what if you see the person in the video, they do some like epic shit and you're like, no way I could pull that move off. Like they're like, no, this is the only way you could be. You can pull this off right here.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. What I was wondering about it is the videos that they're gonna put. Is it the original Dark Souls videos or is it the new version?
It's gonna be new. The developers make those videos
so?
And they upload it.
Do they? Okay,
we'll see. Work for the developer. Now they're like, fuck, man.
We'll see what they do because they might just be like, yo, man, we might have to take a couple off the old YouTube,
But that's a good opportunity for like game testers. They're like, yes, now I could. You can work as a game tester. You can probably get more hours now that you have to start working on these tutorials. So
they made achievements. This thing makes achievements and trophies more interesting to me now to actually want it. Before I was like, man, I got to go on the YouTube and see. I don't want to do all that. Now it's just like a click of the button. Might have to, if I got 1-2 trophies to go, I might have to do it.
For the people listening, you heard my phone go off. That's one of those Trump ghost calls. He's been calling.
He works for the feds
and demanding. I just saw the phone go off and it said Donald. I said, nah. Hell no. Nah.
Yeah. So how you feel about the PlayStation 4? You excited?
Yeah, I'm excited. I told you that. Let's talk about election for a second here, man.
You didn't tell me that out during the podcast, though. We're gonna get to elections soon, man.
Because I'm in Graham.
We're gonna get to elections just now.
Here, they pepper sprayed some kids.
Okay. We'll get into that just now. Don't worry. What I want to talk about is the hole I fell down in YouTube, where all the people are trying to tell you how to get the system if you didn't get the pre-order.
Oh, that shit
all
ain't
the
real.
Little tricks and all the little. Yeah, I was watching that. Like, these people are nuts. A bunch of hype beasts. This shit's hilarious. I just kept watching. Oh man, how you feel this is gonna be with the online only? First time ever, online only purchases on day one.
It's gonna be bots hitting that up, man. But the thing is, to try to prevent bots, you have to physically go there in person. Ooh. So you buy it, and then you gotta. So like, for instance, Target's doing like drive up pickup, but you gotta pay for it online.
Yeah.
And drive up, and they'll like put it in your trunk or whatever for you.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of eliminates people like waiting outside in lines.
I like that.
Tents.
They're saying that it's only online on the 12th. So that means I think these stores are going to have the shipment in the back. You buy it online, and then you drive to the store, and you do your pickup there on the 12th.
Between me and you, I was picking up Chinese food right by GameStop,
yeah,
and they were dropping off PS5s.
I think they got more than enough, man. I honestly think this is all a genius marketing scheme by PlayStation. And the collaboration of PlayStation and Xbox, they came together and they said, these systems cannot die. So how do we hype this up as much as possible? So I personally get your conspiracy theory hats. Get your tinfoil. I honestly think this is a genius marketing strategy by the gaming industry to make people to get the hype going. Because I'm hearing people talking about the system that don't even talk about systems, that don't even care for PlayStation. They're all like, yeah, I might have to get one. How can I get one? Is there a way I could get one? Is it still available? Have you gotten one? Like that hype has cracked through the ceilings of just to the regular people. You know what I'm saying? So usually the people don't care to wait for day one. They wait like a next month or two, even January. But this year, people are like, yo, I heard it's rare. I need that thing. You know what I'm saying? So people are thinking of getting the Xbox S, the smaller system, because they're just like, yo, everything else is going to be gone. I can just buy this one, put a little 2-year Best Buy thing on it, or, and just flip that thing back after a month or two. So
you froze up there for a second. Put a little 2-year and what?
No, they could put a little warranty on it from the Costco's or the Best Buys or whoever they get the system from. Zellers, I don't know. Byway, shout out. But and then flip it back, and then flip
Target
it back.
And Walmart. I said you're saying Canadian places, so they don't know what the fuck the Zellers and
yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
You're like, huh? Sound like Target, Best Buy, Walmart.
Yeah. So I think this is a genius, elaborate marketing scheme, and we're all being pulled into it, unfortunately, because of COVID.
All right, can I take the tinfoil off now?
Figure this out. Yeah.
Can I talk logic now, or are we going to talk tinfoil?
Okay, no more fun. All right, go ahead.
So what happened was with the pre-orders, when they first showed the conference, Walmart blew their load.
Exactly.
Walmart said, fuck it, we're not going to wait until that Thursday. We're dropping our pre-orders right now. And then people started rushing Walmart and doing pre-orders there. Yeah. And then that led GameStop and all these other companies like Target. They didn't want their market share to go down. So they're like, shit, we're going to open our pre-orders too.
Yep.
So keep up with Walmart. So Walmart ruined it for everybody.
Pissed me off. I watched that damn presentation and at the end of it, I was like, well, when are they going to release the pre-orders? They didn't say nothing.
Because everybody was like, I was like, okay, I'm going to go Thursday. But something told me, let me call GameStop, and I called GameStop. I was like, "Hey, when can I pre-order the PS5?" Get here now, bro.
Exactly.
Get here now if you want one. We only have 10.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got some breaking news though, real quick.
Oh shit! Breaking news. What's popping?
All right. So what's popping right now is a couple places in Texas and Best Buy, a couple Best Buys there. They have some PS5 kiosks, and they've been overheating.
Ooh, that's not good.
I got me a 2-year warranty on mine.
Oh man, the kiosk is on 24 hours a day, and it's in a little bubble.
It shows that PS5 has like a warning which says your PS5 is too hot. Turn off your PS5 and wait until the temperature goes down. Like that happens because they probably just have it on for days.
Yeah, the displays are on for 24 hours a day, Monday to Sunday.
Some of these nerds out here like all day, baby.
What does that mean for the consumer then? You know what I mean? Because if we have put our stuff in rest mode like we do with the PS4, how is that going to affect us? Jeez. Yeah, that's,
so they provided a screenshot. It just says your PS5 is too hot. Turn off your PS5 and wait for temperature to go down. That's it.
What do you think of that?
I don't know. There's a Series X on display and the PS5 on display, and the PS5, the Series X omitted a lot of hot air out of it because it has that thing at the top, and people joke like, "Oh man, you can warm up your living room with this."
Yeah,
so they said so much hot air that comes out of it, and then you have the PS5 overheating. So I'm just like, damn, how are these new generation consoles handling heat? Is the Xbox gonna heat my house? Is the PS5 gonna melt itself? We'll find out the next coming months once more consumers have it. And
yeah,
you know, always those NBA 2K players who play like they have no job 24/7. How are they gonna handle their console overheating or stopping mid-game because their console overheated? So
yeah,
that's a concern.
The crazy thing is like half of the system is a fan for both these systems. So it's like, how could this be an issue now?
They took it out. They're like, we have fan.
Yeah, the fan is like big as my head. It's half the damn system. How is this an issue? Huh? They're gonna change that with updates. I thought they had that
liquid metal to help with the cooling, or
yeah, they're gonna change that in updates. You watch. They're gonna be like, no, we good. It's not even gonna show that thing no more. Watch, they're one update away from changing that. So
they're gonna have a new attachment you stick to the back.
Oh Lord, it's a vacuum.
It's cooling up the butt of the blade.
Yeah. Oh man, that's not good. Because yeah, the displays are in a glass. It's like wrapped in a glass container, so it is boxed in. Yeah, that's not good. I'm already visualizing where I'm gonna put it. Nice big open space in my my bedroom. So I'm like,
because I didn't buy the Xbox One X yet because I was like, first of all, they're hard to get, the Series X, and I was just like, where the hell am I gonna put it? Where could I let this heat come out of? Like, what area can I put it in your cables? Would it melt my cables?
I don't think it'll get that hot. Computers don't even get that hot.
These YouTubers are wild and talking about, man, look at my hands, bro, crispy.
I saw they had the temperature guns and they shoot them with it to see what the temperature is every so often. So people are breaking them down, making some good content on YouTube. I don't know. I think we'll be all right. I think people are just overreacting over this.
Real quick, we're gonna talk American politics. So.
Oh Lord,
hard to avoid.
I'm trying to avoid it.
The shit show continues.
Tired of this, man.
Isn't it great, man? It's like a comedy movie. It's like
the memes are great.
The memes are great. Donald Trump coming out early and saying he won was great. Like that shit was wild. He brought the whole family out with no mask. He's like, "We won, baby!"
Holding hands in the air.
The hands up.
Like it was just one state. Oh shit! Yeah. Okay.
He's like, that's good, son. You got Kanye West talking about he's so proud to vote this year.
Oh my god.
Himself.
Kanye, the egotistical asshole, man. Holy, this guy loves himself too
Kim
bad.
Kardashian liking this Kid Cudi. He posted that he was voting for Biden. She liked it and
Bacchanal in the bedroom.
Like all this drama. I was like, shit, Melania Trump probably voted for Biden. She probably trying to move out that damn house.
You see the truck in front of the White House already with the memes? That was hilarious. What? Had a truck already, a moving truck in front of the White House. And they're like, Melania's already ready to get the hell out of here.
Gone.
She already got her shit packed. She's just waiting to hit the gas.
Man with his diaper.
Yeah, I think she's finished. She's done with this. I like the way anytime she does a little presentation.
She get a divorce. She will get her a young ting.
Probably. I like the way she always has the good angles anytime she does a presentation. Like she's at the side like this with the lighting hitting her right.
You jealous, Casey?
Nah, I'm just like, hey, she got the best angles any first lady's ever got. And then she got like the friggin' Vogue magazine team doing her lighting. You know what I mean? So
So the drama going on is how's Canadian elections work? You guys don't have to like register in advance, right? You just show your ID and you vote.
Yeah.
That is not the process in America, man.
And then we vote for the seats.
Make sure you're registered in the right county. Then you're able to go vote. You could do an absentee ballot, which is you could do it online, or you could do it by mail. You do early voting, and then you have in-person voting. Absentee is also good for like military when they're overseas.
Yeah,
they can send their vote over.
Yeah, it's probably the same here.
Trump told his people, "Don't vote by mail, vote by person." But you know, mail-in votes. So they all came in day of election. They voted, so they counted those first. Now they have the option to count the early votes and the absentee votes.
Yeah,
early as well. But Trump said no, and he said that for specific states. Now, as the election is going on now, they counted all the early stuff, and Trump was looking good in some places. Now they're starting to count some of the absentee ballots because you got to remember we're in the pandemic. People don't want to be, in line right beside each other. The more smart social distancing way of voting would be to do a mail-in, and that's what some people did, and that's why there's so many mail-in ballots.
Yeah,
and they're reading those now, and that's why the numbers are changing. Yeah, and they're creeping up. It's kind of like when you eat an edible, and you're just like, man, this ain't shit, man. This ain't about to do nothing. Then you start looking at your hand after a while. That's what these absentee ballots are. They just they'll creep up on you, and that's what they're doing on old Donnie.
Roller coaster's going down, buddy.
My boy went to sleep happy as hell. We about to win, son. And then he woke up, and that edible hit him. Yeah. And he said, "Oh shit." So now he's just going around suing all these different states, trying to stop them from counting. They have different militias going to these county, like these booths with guns and stuff, and singing YMCA. It's the dumbest. You gonna count our votes? YMCA. You can't write this shit, man.
No, you can't. This shit's better than any movie. That's why these
movies
felt so lackluster.
The season finale to 2020 is wild, man.
This ain't even the season finale yet. Wait till the asteroid comes or some shit. It actually did come.
The thing is, like, all right, Trump leaves, blah, blah, blah. Well, what's the next step for these Trump supporters with all that anger and hate in their heart? They gonna calm their ass down, or are they gonna just be covert racists? Or like... So what's the next step? Are we going to just stay divided, red versus blue?
That's the question right there. Because what are the blue states going to do? What are the other states going to do? What are the other people who aren't from those rural areas going to do about those rural areas that don't have the jobs, that can't keep a roof on their head? And that's more than half of America. What are you guys going to do?
I don't know, man. It's going to be wild.
Because that's the problem. That's how this psychopath was able to slide his schemy ass into.
Oh man, pussy grabbing hands.
y'all gotta unite for real, and I don't like you, you don't like me.
Blue, man. It's just gotta be
but you gotta, y'all gotta be like, yo, I don't like you, you don't like me, but we gotta work together to get this place, our house together, or else.
Because the thing is, us fighting each other, red versus blue nonsense. Perfect opportunity for a third party to walk up in there and be like, "America's mine."
Yeah,
they're busy fighting and
all that debt
nonsense.
Yeah, y'all got to know who all that debt's going owed to, and who the also who your mayor is in your town, who the council is, who makes that. Yeah, who the team is who makes that last vote. When everybody votes in the states, like what is it, the electoral college? Like, who are those people? You know what I mean? Like, just because Democrats win this, it doesn't make it's not a victory. Don't go dance in the streets like we did for Obama. Like, this shit just started. Now is the time to take things and listen to other sides and listen to people and be like, okay, how can we make this work for all of us? Can we put tech companies in these areas that are struggling? Can we put, we don't have coal there no more, but can we have like a COVID safety area there that we blow the coal factory away with and we put something else there? You get what I'm saying? Like, something to keep America. Not
you see where Oregon decriminalized all drugs.
Yeah. I remember you told me about
everything. That. Now, my thing is, I think for the first month, people gonna be wilding the fuck out, just because they can. But after that, I think the use of drugs and everything's gonna steadily decline, and there'll be because you've seen that in European countries where it's
That's
like
what I told you. Yeah,
there's less drug use, because I feel like the thrill of it being illegal is also part of the problem. They can't get like, you're getting dirty needles and all that stuff when you're buying it from drug dealers. If you're getting it from the government and they're giving you a low dose, it'll be easier for you to get off whatever that drug is.
Yeah, well,
like clean needle stations or whatever.
If it's legal, the whole system of you going to jail for being addicted to something because you have depression and you're self-medicating, that's a big percentage of people that are doing these drugs. So when they make it legal for you to be able to do it, and then you could wean yourself off of it properly, not stop yourself completely and then fly back into it even harder than before because you can't do it, and then you do it. You get what I'm saying? That back and forth, that will be eliminated. I'm not for government owning property and taxes of all those types of products, but if it is there and it's legal, people who want to do this stuff are going to do it anyways. So if it's legal, you could wean yourself off of it easier. You could just say, yo, this weekend, you're addicted to whatever you're addicted to.
Do some heroin this weekend, bro.
Do a little less heroin, do a little less heroin, do less, and really get yourself off of it. And then go to treatment centers to properly go talk to a therapist and get yourself off these things. I have no interest whatsoever.
What if, okay, Casey,
any of these hard drugs?
I'm just like, let me get my mind right. Let's go, baby.
You can do that right now if you want to. You could go.
I know, but they could look at me some type of way, being coked out of my mind. But if I'm in Oregon and I'm coked out of my mind, they're just like, we can't criminalize Greg. He just has a problem.
And isn't that better?
It is.
Okay, so it's like, imagine you got a problem and you get thrown in jail, and you're still
somebody in jail
sneaking that stuff in jail. Yeah, people are sneaking that stuff in the jail all the time. Imagine if you're in the jail and it's legal. So it's like, okay, we got to wean you off of this. It's legal, so we will put you through this process to slowly get you off of it now, legally. Not
just as much drugs in jail as there is in the streets, man.
Bro, I will eat your ass for some of that coke. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. Now it's like, because like me, you, the regular, people have no interest or inclination to want to go and do any of this stuff. I don't want to do any of it whatsoever. If I go there, I'm still not going to be like, yeah, I want to just do a line. No, I have no interest in that. So it's not going to tempt me whatsoever. But somebody who does have those issues, maybe
I think there's some people that like
a good testing place to do that
out there just to do it, and they'll probably do it like once or twice and be like, the whole thrill is gone.
Yeah, they realize it's all hype. All that shit, like a lot of it is mental. Maybe, I don't know. It could be biological too for some of these drugs. I can't speak.
We need more drug facilities and more mental health facilities, man. Because a lot of it is people coping with their mental health, trying to numb the pain with drugs.
Escapism. Yeah.
Yep.
It's escapism. And imagine if it's legal and you can wean yourself off legally.
So
buy it,
Canada,
take it, buy this on the weekend.
Does the weed. How does that work with the government owning the weed? And
people still grow if they want to grow it themselves in their backyard.
But
people grow what they want to grow.
They could grow like a certain 2-3 plants.
Who's counting that?
Canadian government.
We just came to count here. Nah, but nobody's going crazy. Like people thought people were gonna go crazy in this gateway thing. Nobody's going crazy. Like people are buying it like they buy anything else. Like if they did it, they're doing it that way. If they're not, if they want to, they're growing their own little thing and they're doing it themselves. Nobody's going off driving off cliffs or doing anything different like drunk drivers. They're not. Mm-hmm. It's just as much like drunk or high drivers as there was before, in my honest opinion.
How they handle like driving impaired when you're high?
Same as alcohol.
Is it like is there a high test? Because I know like there's a drunk test that you have to take.
Well, I don't know. I don't do that
works.
shit.
Like, so
I've never been caught in a predicament. I can't speak for that, but I think what they do is they would probably test your piss. They make you piss in something and test it out to see if there's marijuana.
But, okay, I pull you out the car. You smell like weed. Here's a cup.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm not putting myself in that predicament. That's some foolishness.
And then you're waiting. You're just like, man, I have stuff to do. This fool out here checking my piss.
Yeah, exactly. And he's tapping the head to try to get it going. It's like, come on, Mr. Officer, this is sexual harassment. Nah, I don't know. That I can't speak on.
I'd be a great Canadian cop on here, man. It's like we can hear.
I just think it's best to make it legal. Make it all legal. Because then if you could have chemicals under your sink that could kill you if you take like 2 teaspoons of it, You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit could be legal too. It's just a money thing. They want to know how to monopolize the dollar.
Yeah,
so
and tax.
They don't care about people like that. They're just like, how can we make as much off of this as possible? Now that they could see how they can make money off of it, they're selling it. So, yeah, man, make it legal.
Starts with drugs,
put a hard tax on it.
I'm selling ass soon.
And he needs to be watching where that tax money goes to make sure that that money goes towards treatment centers, not to just like, oh, we're putting it to the roads, to the construction. That's that Freemason shit, man. They take that money and buying yachts, you know? So gotta watch what they're putting the money to make sure that it's trickling to the treatment centers, that extra taxes that they're hitting people with for these products. So just be responsible, buy your stocks, know where it's going, know where that extra money's going, those tax money.
All right,
that's my thoughts on that.
Let's let the folks know what we're going to be talking about this episode.
Yeah, man. So we're going to be talking about Netflix's Blood of Zeus. It's an American anime cartoon. Just dropped a couple weeks ago, and we're going to be reviewing that. Spell, this movie that Amazon put on with dude from Power.
Mari Hardwick.
Yes, we're going to be reviewing that. And Netflix's His House, a thriller.
Whose house?
Horror movie. We're going to be reviewing that one too.
Ron's house.
Buckle up.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember the bathtub and everything. Man's tweeting in suds.
Always be in the tub, just texting, reflecting on life, man.
Yeah. Hey, man, he had it figured out. I used to watch that when I was like teen and watching it, like, what is this guy doing? Now I'm like, hey, that's actually kind of nice.
He was doing that Doug Dear Diary. He was just doing
But he was ahead of the game, man. That's nice, man. Sitting in the tub, just sending out a tweet or looking at your phone. put a screen in there now.
The life, man. He knew it.
Yeah, he was ahead of the time. He was
figured it out before all of us.
Yeah.
All right. For those listening, we're going to drop the trailer here for Blood of Zeus. All right, Casey, that was the trailer for Blood of Zeus. This is from the same team that brought us Castlevania on Netflix, which I haven't finished.
Me neither, but that was great. I almost finished season 1. I'm going to go back and watch that now because of this show.
And the creators are Charlie. I am not going to try to say that last name. And the other guy's name is Valas.
Mm-hmm.
Vlas. V-L-A-S. Vlas. Casey, how would you say this last name? P-A-R-L-A-P-A-N-I-D-E-S. Parlapanedes? I don't know.
They're brothers. It's two brothers.
Yes, they are. It's good. Keep it in the family.
Yeah, no, but it's so interesting that they're both brothers who created the show and where their show story goes to. I found that very interesting. I could read off the synopsis real quick. Chronicles of the legitimate son of Zeus, a young man tasked with saving heaven and earth despite the interference of a vengeful goddess and her monstrous forces. So that's very vague, and I like that synopsis right there because it doesn't give too much away, yet it tells you exactly what's going on. Perfect synopsis.
Let me talk about some of the work that these two brothers worked on. They did The Mortals, the Zack Snyder film.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of forgotten gem. Death Note for Netflix, which that's not one to be too proud of. And then,
spilled my water. that was one of our first reviews on this podcast, actually, but that wasn't it, man. That was not it. That movie wasn't it.
That Death Note was not it. And those, and then Blood of Zeus is the newest writing project that they have. They're working on something called Untitled Military Thriller. So
okay,
that's the next project after Blood of Zeus. But yeah, so far so good with them. I enjoyed the Immortals, even though it had some moments that were kind of that came out in 2011. So that's why I was like, okay, maybe they could borrow from that and bring that to Blood of Zeus. And it seems like they pretty much the same kind of story if you go watch two films.
Oh, okay. Nah, I never seen Immortals.
It's one of Henry Cavill's like first leading films. He was like really skinny. It was right before
I'm looking at it.
He was super skinny, and then I guess Zack Snyder's like, nah, you about to get on this protein.
That HGH or whatever it is, steroids and shit. Okay.
It was like
I'll check this out.
A diet version of 300.
I think I seen this a long time ago.
With Greek gods.
I think I seen this. It
So
had
they
like
wrote for that. So that sounds like I could see how that they wrote for that and wrote for because they kind of borrow a lot of story elements.
Mm-hmm. I love the way this show introduced itself with a couple of sentences similar to Star Wars. The way that it had a quick little, there are stories that made the books that talk about history and stuff like that. This is an actual story that didn't make the books, but has been told for generations to generation. I thought that was dope. Like that little part, it was like, oh shit. So this is how, when you read the Bible, there are things that you read and it's like, how do I articulate this and make it make sense that there's something spinning in the earth, like above the clouds, but it looks like a kind of like a bird spinning in the clouds, but it's not a bird. But then when you're drawing that, what the person's saying, you're drawing a giant bird spinning in the clouds. You get what I'm saying? So it has a certain look to it. And that's what I always thought these stories were reflectant of. People articulating something that they seen or heard about from their grandfather's generational, and they told these stories, and the stories became the way that these look now. Like I love the way that the Greek gods, to the regular person, they would look like that. But to them, they're probably like highly technological people who live in a hilled area, so it's hard to get to, so other people can't get to it. You could see a lot of technology being used in this, but it's masked as magic. And I love the way they did that.
That's the perspective that Marvel takes with Thor.
Not only Thor, that's a perspective that DC takes with the Justice League. You've seen the Flash in this, you've seen Superman, you see Wonder Woman in this, and these are all like Greek stories from before, which were all African stories.
Hermes is definitely the Flash.
Exactly. So I just like the way that they did this in this, and they didn't really waste time with the little things, but they actually used their powers in smart ways. Like they didn't just punch things hard. They actually got to a nuance. Which
how did you feel about the main character, Huron? I thought he was kind of lackluster. I thought he was kind of boring.
Well, he's the train driving you through this story. So he's like, as he's understanding things, it's for them to give you these things to understand. He's you know what I mean? Like, so I didn't dislike his character. I really did like his the antagonist better, personally.
Hot take. You ready for the hot take?
Yeah.
I feel the relationship with him and the antagonist is the way how I felt with Black Panther and Killmonger. How I would follow Black Panther, and he's kind of like this stoic hero.
Yep.
And he didn't really have. He had enough personality, but he wasn't as interesting as the villain. And that's how I feel about this show. Like the villain's way more interesting. Yeah. And the side characters are interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. This is an exact parallel of the blueprint that Marvel used through the MCU with their bad guys and the reflectant character of self. Like that's pretty much what this did too. And I think that is all taken from historical stories. Like that Adam is taken from historical stories, and in comic books we read these things, but there were stories taken that Stan Lee took from those days and the other creators of like DC Comics back then, like with Superman and what's his name in the space, and he shoots a laser and it goes different directions. Darkseid. Like I think these are stories that were told of, like, the Persians versus the Greeks, or the Egyptians versus you know what I'm saying, like different areas. So I applaud this thing, man. This was great. Each episode wasn't long. It started off really bold and strong. They told a little bit of a story and then got straight to the shits, got straight to the action, and it was like half an hour every time, and it ended with a nice cliffhanger that was respectable. It wasn't a cheap cliffhanger.
Yeah, I thought the show was very well paced. I love the art style. How did you feel about the art style?
Yeah. Sorry, what did you say?
I said, how did you feel about the art style?
Oh no, I loved it. I loved the it had a modern look, but it still had like a inspired by anime look to it. So when watching like different fight scenes, I was like, that's from Baki the Grappler. Like there's a part where he grabs the inside of the guy's face and then he dashes him. Like that's some raw Baki the Grappler type stuff. I saw some things from Dragon Ball Z where you're seeing somebody like, getting vexed and powering up kind of. It had some strong influences from anime stuff without the 10 episodes to build up your powers to do something. You know what I mean? So it moved at such a great pace, and the art style was beautiful. I found this, I gotta applaud this show. I enjoyed it a lot.
My highlight of the show was Zeus. He was like a Jamaican father. He worked many jobs, had many women,
Yeah.
but he had a heart of gold.
Yeah, he was such a likable guy. He was so charming, especially when he killed the monster and he's holding the girl and he winks at her. I was like, oh man, this is my dude,
like,
man.
There you go again,
Zeus is my. This should have been called the semen of Zeus, in my opinion. The semen of Zeus. Yeah, we're doing a little spoiler-free talk right now, but we'll get into spoilers soon.
Yeah,
Don't
so
worry, guys.
you sly devil, Zeus. Everybody knows about Zeus.
Yeah, but it was dope. Do you see a season 2 coming from this, or do you see it as one story and complete?
The show really picked up to me once there was a segment on the boat where they started introducing more side characters.
Mm-hmm.
That's where really the momentum hit really hard.
Yeah,
and then it ended not abruptly. It ended probably like 3 episodes after that. And I kind of wanted to see more of that dynamic of these new characters and the new relationships that they're building. And it's like, oh, too much. Like you better wait. You better wait a year.
Yeah, I feel like there might be a season 2, even though this show they took it to the furthest extent I could have imagined right off the bat. So I'm very excited to see what more these guys come with. What else do I want to say? Yeah, the writing's genius in this.
The voice acting's great. They had Jessica Henwick, who we last saw in Iron Fist. She became the new Iron Fist, and then they canceled the show. Jason O'Mara as Zeus. I'm not familiar with Derek Phillips, but he does Heron. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with him. But he does the voice for Heron. But yeah, my only gripe is Heron's kind of just basic, man. He's just... It's like Wonder Bread. Like, it's good, but you could put some more stuff on it.
But isn't that just the more times the hero's character? Like the Ryu, the Superman, the main...
Superman got some personality now.
How many? It's been like almost 100 years that character's
took a while,
been out.
Yeah. They spiced that bread up. That Wonder Bread was
Mega Man.
Like, they put some seasoning in it.
But I think they make them. I honestly think they make them plain like that, so that you season yourself on that character. They give them those pillars of nobility and heroism and stuff like that, and then you pepper yourself on that character, and that's what their hopes are. So you're seeing yourself in that person. So all those other things that you want added in is you.
Heron to me was like Bobby Boucher with superpowers. Like, my mama said, I gotta go do this right here. My mama said I gotta go work on the farm.
So I think that's reflectant of yourself.
I don't reflect it. And then like they really emphasized that he was poor. Like, he had it looked like a potato sack.
Yeah.
Everybody had full clothes. His shit was just holding on by a thread.
He literally went through it, man. Unfortunately,
I was just like, my God. And then his feet, he couldn't even afford shoes. His feet are all hard and cracked up. I was like, they had to make sure they show you that man living in poverty. They nailed that down.
Yeah, he went through it, man. He went through it, man. Nobody can say they had a hard job. He was breaking rocks. That was his job.
Call you Bobby Boucher.
He was working the coal mines in Kentucky, man. He was going through it, man. No one can say he didn't have a hard life.
Bobby Boucher with gifts. He's like, my mom would say, it's cloudy here all the time.
My thing was like, he didn't show in the beginning an intellectual level to him, because like he brought the gems to the dude and he was like, how much can I get for these gems? The guy was like, looked at him, looked up and down at him, and he was like, I give you 2 cents. He's like, 2 cents? I'll take it. Use your head. You know what you just bought, what you just took was so rare. Like, be like, nah, bro, I'm gonna shop these. I'll sell them myself.
That reminds me of Star Wars. Whenever they're in Tatooine and they go to that smuggler guy scheming on them.
Yeah,
that's what that reminds me of.
This show has a lot of similarities of different shows and movies that I want to get to in spoilers. But it definitely.
Right, so before we jump into spoilers, I'm giving this 9 out of 10 because I love the story. It's something that we're familiar with, but they were able to revamp it, give us great fight scenes, and give us great animation to go with it. So yeah, it kept my attention. I'm a person that doesn't really like anime, and I'm now starting to get back into anime. Mm-hmm. And this was kind of like the jump start for me to start back watching anime. Yeah, so I give it a 9.
Yeah, I also give this a 9. I found it phenomenal. This was great. I enjoyed it. I watched the first half, 4 episodes, and I felt very satisfied, yet wanted to see a lot more. And then the next day I watched the other half and I was like, yo, this show just went off and took another leap. I want more. I want more. So yeah, I didn't like that all the safety of all the characters. You know what I mean? That's the one thing I wish happened.
The plot armor didn't really seem like plot armor because there's some characters I was like, oh, you gonna slice their face? They might like I feel like they might die at times. It didn't seem like Game of Thrones where
I wanted more of that Game of Thrones.
Super plot armor in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I wanted that. I wanted not the super plot armor. I wanted that Game of Thrones season 1 where it's like, holy shit, anybody could go. Like, you know,
yeah,
like,
that's the type of vibe I was getting in the beginning. Yeah. Then certain characters, I was just like, and they do some fake outs too that they execute.
That I appreciated. I like the fake outs, but some of the things I was like, oh, come on, be a little more unsafe. Like that's why it's not a 10 out of 10. If it had that element to it, I would have given it this perfect score. But it just had that, like, I know they're gonna be fine. This person's gonna be fine. So kind of took a little bit of the intensity out of it for me. But it was still a fantastic show. I would recommend watching this cartoon, but it's amazing. If you're not into cartoons, I'd say check this out because it's
so much in this. I told y'all I don't even like anime like that, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna start watching.
Honestly, Netflix, man, you're doing the damn thing. Y'all are looking at the algorithms like, oh, you like this, eh? Okay, well, let's put a couple mil into that then, and they're making things happen. They're doing stuff. They see the competition's looming. That HBO Max is coming, so they got to come correct. Disney, they done defeated Disney in my opinion.
Hot take.
Services are coming. What do you think? How you feel?
I ain't jumping in. I'm trying to keep this train going. That's a hot take.
Hey, man, I'm paying for Disney.
I'm gonna save that one for later. That's a hot take.
Yeah.
All right. So if you're listening, we're gonna jump into spoilers. So you can always just check the episode description, see where to jump ahead. But we're gonna jump into spoilers right here for Blood of Zeus. So if you want to hear that, now's your chance. Peace.
First episode.
Zeus, man.
Hold on, first episode.
Flying as a bird. Saw that titty meat from a bird's eye view. He said, shit, I'm about to swoop in on that real quick.
Exactly, he swept in for real. Zeus is the dude, man. Oh, man.
Zeus, is that technically rape? Because he was pretending to be the dude, but eventually she's like, wait a second, my husband's a piece of shit. This nigga out here giving me the power stroke.
That was a dope story because that's like an abused person's way of telling how they feel about their partner. Like sometimes the partner is nice and then sometimes the partner is a monster, so it was a dope story in this entire season of she couldn't tell if it was him or not because she never really got to know the guy. So when he would come and beat her ass, she was like, oh shit, okay, this is the tyrant. When he would come and be loving, she was like, okay, this is him now. So she never got the real him, so she couldn't tell for a long time if it was truly him or not. I thought that was a dope little story they put in there.
I just like the fact that he was a bird, minded his damn business, and said, what? And swooped down. He swooped down so quickly and took the shape of her husband. He's like, what is that? He's like, I don't remember making that one. Let me slide in.
But it was ill because like this whole thing could have just been this dude's delusion of him. Like he's just an abusive guy, and he's like, yo, you made a cockhole at me.
I love when he said that line. I was like,
yeah, me too.
Trying to make Casey smile.
I was like, holy shit. You made a cockhole at me. When I heard that, I was laughing out loud. It's like, this guy really just said that? But he could have been delusional. Like, those two kids could have been his kids, but he's such a monster that he's just like, yo, there's no way I can have a kid with blue eyes. Like, and he's just like,
Maury, man, more, look at them blue eyes, Maury.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn, blue eyes, Maury.
He's such a monster that he just saw that and he was like, nah, man, I'm beating her ass for this shit. It's like, what?
So he was ready to beat his wife's ass, and then
it could have just been his imagination.
The uncle, when he dropped the other brother down, that broke my heart.
The uncle, right?
Yeah, man, he's a monster. That broke my damn heart. The uncle was a monster
too. Yeah, that was crazy. That was sad, man. Because
like I understand why he's a villain. He had every right to be a villain. He was abused. And the part that got me was when Zeus was like, "You ate my kid, but I was there, baby. That bear.
That was
me. On them titties. That was me.
That was me, bro. Me, man. He's a
when you were cold, that ray of sunshine that hit you and warmed you all day."
Oh man,
I was like, Zeus is helpful and useless at the same time.
Yeah. He's a slick guy, man. He's slick.
You see your son living in poverty, with a damn potato sack. You walk around as an old man. I'm gonna give him a couple of berries, make sure he got some nutrients.
Yeah. Make him take care of you. Oh, I broke my leg again.
My leg.
I was like Zeus, man. It's like, I'm just trying to make you stronger. I'm just trying to make you stronger. Oh, what was I gonna say? I love the way the first episode told you the story of the gods and the monsters, the titans, and they broke down that whole battle. And then they reveal after how his son was starving and nowhere else to go, and he fell down a hole, and he's eating this meat to live, and he's hiding in this hole eating this meat. And it turns out that meat is from the first episode of the Titans.
Yeah, from the Titans.
So it's just that full circle was so dope. It's like, oh shit, okay, that's how he got it. It made so much sense. But if they were just like, oh no, he just got superpowers, it's like, that ain't it. But the way that they made it full circle like that was amazing, man. That made me like.
How'd you feel about Hera, man? It kind of justified some of the stuff she was doing because Zeus is a jackass. But like he basically is like, sorry, baby. You know, Zeusy boy gotta get a little pokey poke here and there.
My thing was, okay, he has 7 sons. 2 of the sons are the most powerful 2 out of all the others. What about the other sons? And they're all like, okay, so we just chop.
Bunch of bastard kids like Hercules.
Yeah, but I don't know. That part of the story was kind of like, okay.
I think
like,
this is probably like number 50.
Yeah.
She's like, damn it, Zeus, again.
Exactly. I was like, okay, aren't you realizing that this is like a technical, like a technological type of thing he's trying to do here through his biological self? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, how long did you realize that's what he's trying to do? He's trying to come up with the perfect, like, yin and yang. And that's all he's here for. I think he just likes clapping cheeks, Casey. I think you're thinking too deep. I don't think. No, he's trying to make an evolution. Zeus is thinking that heavy. I think he's just like, she fine as hell. Let me go zoom. let me go swoop in that one real quick. I don't think in a true history of the story, I don't think he has the power of control over that, like you're saying. But I think I honestly think that that's what's happening. It's an evolution. Like the way that Zeus came on, he had to kill his dad, and then he became running it for however long. And now these 2 are coming, and whoever runs that is, I think, like the historical story is like all the brothers and shit were European kings, like way long ago. So each, like one guy was in England, one guy was in Germany, one guy went to this place, and that's how the European, that's the story, like royalty thing. And this is like the Adam of that story. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I get what you're trying to say. I don't have enough information to rebuttal with you. But that's just what I heard. So, you know, that's what I think is what this tale is that Adam of the royal families and shit like that. That's what this is. But does that answer the question of him trying to creep all the time? You're saying that it was a genetic biological perfect yin to his yang to create evolution, like a battery. Like consistently in the first episode, it shows all the times that negative positive battery heats up so much, back and forth so much, that it creates evolution. And I think that Zeus is not bored, and he was told not to interfere with human life, so he does it in his own tricksy way by shoving his yang into some other people's yangs, and that's why that's his way of influencing different things by basically inserting himself literally and figuratively into the scene, because he's like, oh, I have my blood out here doing my work for me. I'm not getting involved in human work. My kid is. My hands are clean. But he's supposed to be the zenith of technological, figure of the time, and he's gone as far as he can go. So yeah, he's the high supreme being, and they're supposed to not influence or dwell in like human affairs. But until when? That's just the rule. Zeus is just like, what Hera don't know. But it's until there's nothing left for them to do. It's like they've reached that. He was bored. Point of evolution. He saw some titties, Casey. Exactly. So his dad did the same thing. His dad had unlimited power for a certain amount of time until he couldn't there was nothing left for him. So then he created that battery effect that created the heat up evolution. And then then Zeus came and killed his dad. And then he became that. And now you got the two brothers that are battling it out. And then one has to survive and become that evolution of what Zeus was.
I'm waiting for Kratos to show up.
You're waiting for Kratos to show up?
Yeah, but another one of Zeus's bastard children right there.
Yeah. It's a dope story though. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed very interested to see where they're gonna take it since they did everything.
We're talking about Hera early. Do you feel like she was justified or she went overboard?
She was justified.
There's at one point I was like she was justified, and after a while I was like, all right, now you're doing too damn much. He done told her like, look, I cheated on you probably about 1,000 times.
Yeah,
you can give it to me in a century. What do you expect? I'm Zeus. My bad. You want to have a hug? She's like, no, Zeus. I ain't forgiving you this time, Zeus. He's like, come on, baby, it's your boy. I gave you that wink. Come on, girl. You gonna give Zeus some love? When she started plotting, and she was basically trying to do a civil war between the gods.
Yeah, because she's following the rules and the politics of what they created to keep the balance.
But when she started bringing in the giants, I forgot their name.
Yeah,
is it just the giants?
We can call them that. The people who
when she started bringing their influence into it, I was like, you're doing too much, girl. You could have left this as a family quarrel.
Yeah, but once the rules are broken, it's chaos.
All right, quick thing before we start moving on to other topics. I like the new characters that they added. Those the black guy and the other guy with the whip. Mm-hmm. I wanted more from them, but they came in so late in the game.
Can you explain like what their guilt was? What did they do? That's the thing. One thing I didn't understand that made them feel that they needed redemption. One guy said
he was in the games, and then the other guy was like he knew so much information, so maybe they're gonna like flesh out that backstory in the sequel.
My understanding was the white guy was a slave master and he was trading people. He couldn't do it no more, so then he took that guy who was his boy and said, you know what, we're gonna be cool. I don't want to do this shit no more. I'm taking you.
I don't know if your interpretation's right, but I like it.
And he's not. I don't know if it's right either. I'm just. But I'm just saying. He's like, you're not my boy no more. You're not my slave. We're buddies now. Let's get out of here. I can't do this no more. I can't be trading people.
What white savior nonsense is this, Casey?
And when they dipped out, they went into the games to make money, and they did all these things, and that's where they had all their adventures. And then I think that's part of it. I hope not. But I think
their flashbacks didn't even really like that one girl's flashback. She had like some issues with her family and
Wonder Woman.
She's supposed to die or something like that. Yeah. She had a wild flashback, but their flashback was just like it was really vague to me.
Yeah, that's why I was like, okay, is he master and he couldn't take it no more. Being a slave master, he took this guy and he's like, yo, let's get out of here. If I can't save them all, I'm saving you at least. You know, something like that. I don't know. But that's the one thing I couldn't understand. It wasn't too clear. But then they gave him the whip, and I'm like, oh, man, okay, I see who this guy is.
You little bastard. I know what you've been up to.
I see who you are now.
Do those people occupy Olympus now? Like, are they going to be like, I ain't paying rent no more. I'm living in Olympus. Is that it now?
I guess they're all welcome since they saved the damn planet. Like, so, yeah, maybe, hopefully.
Huron was looking clean too. I know he washed off all that dirt.
Yeah, his clothes got better. The main character's clothing got way better.
Now, did he like die for a second and become a god when he got stabbed to kill his brother? Like, did that activate something?
It's that religious self-sacrifice, you know, to evolutionize to the next level.
So he pulled a Neo from the first Matrix.
Yeah, because he sacrificed
that power.
Yeah. He did
because in the beginning I was like, oh, is he gonna have super speed? What really pissed me off is when he threw that sword. I was like, man, you tripping, man.
What do you mean?
When after his dad made the sword and told him how good it is, he's like, I'm mad that you did it.
Yeah, he definitely.
I was like, man, take it to a pawn shop at least.
And my thing was, when his brother went and got it, I was like, damn, he really just left that sword there.
I was like, is he ever gonna get the sword back? He comes back with some bows, I was like, man, you got a whole dope sword right there.
He really just left the sword, and his brother just discarded the sword too when he went down and got the.
Because he got the other thing that just comes to him. He's like, man, I ain't trying to walk 2 steps.
Yeah,
pick this sword up when I have this. It'll come to me. I'll take my chances.
Yeah, when he killed the Titan underwater and he cut him up, he left that blue sword there. Remember?
Yep.
So I was like, damn, is this dude gonna have to go look for that sword?
You know, Zeus or somebody's looking down like, nigga, I just made that, man. Come on.
Exactly. Yeah.
Zeus spent all afternoon making that sword for his son, who's living in shambles. He's like, fam, I made this for you. It's real powerful.
But check me out.
Lose it. The first thing he does is lose it, man.
Zeus made him climb the highest mountain in the deepest crevice of the hills to get the rocks for that sword. When he realized that, he was like, "This guy could have just did this for me."
He's like, "That's my boy. He got the stamina. He's a Jamaican father." He's like, "I got things to do.
Got things to do for real." Holy,
he's like, "I got other women to see. He got other kids to take care of, man."
So, like I was saying, all the different things that this this story took from, or this original story people took from this, like in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 with the bad guy.
Oh yeah, with
that's very Zeus like.
Yeah, the aspect with the father of Peter Quill and what's the other guy's name? Nero or Neron?
Yeah, MCU, the bad guys versus the good guys being a mirror image of each other, very similar. The one that stood out the most to me was the legendary Justice League with the Superman, the Batman, the Flash. All the characters were kind of in this. So it's like DC kind of took from these stories, you know what I mean? And evolved it into a comic book.
The Greek gods have always been an influence on like Superman's Hercules.
Yeah, exactly. So it's cool the way that this story took it back. You know, they were like, yo, let's go to people like these comic book stories, the comic book movies. Let's take it back to the original story and give it to them. You know what I mean? Or like what we think is the original story, at least, you know? So I really
misspoke earlier. It's Ego. That's Peter Quill's dad.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, Ego.
All right, want to move on to our next review?
Yeah.
All right, next review is Halloween. It wasn't a Halloween premiere. It came out the 30th. Early access on Amazon and other streaming devices. Starring Omari Hardwick. Mm-hmm. You know him from Power.
Yep.
You may have seen him in the first Kick-Ass as the one black guy that was there to be the voice of reason. Disappeared after that. What else was he in? Sorry to bother you. Now he's back in this horror. Spell. Omari Hardwick. Loretta Devine. Trailer dropping now. All right, we're back. Drop the trailer. Now, after coming off of Bad here, which I think I gave a 7, I'm going to go ahead and downgrade that one down to a 4.
Why?
Because
why can't you have two enjoy?
I was like, yeah, it's filmed nicely, but this shit's just stupid.
Yeah, but why can't you have two foolishness movies that you enjoy?
No,
why you gotta knock one?
I was too nice. I don't know what made me so happy that day to give that. I was on crack or something. I don't know. So that's getting a 4. So I just want y'all to know that before we get into this review. Spell.
I'm gonna read off the synopsis.
I apologize for that past review. I'm sorry, y'all. Did y'all wrong. Now, Spell is a story about a man that crash lands in the rural Appalachians and wakes in the attic of a traditional Hoodoo practitioner. He desperately tries to break free from her dark magic and save his family from a sinister ritual before the rise of the blood moon. The only blood moons I know are from Zelda, man. I'm playing that Breath of the Wild when that blood moon hit.
Yo,
like your ass off, man.
That's like a reset button, right? Basically.
Yeah, man. When that blood moon show up, you're just like, shit, man.
We actually had a blue moon last week. I don't know if you knew about that.
Yeah, I heard about that. I don't know what it did.
It changed everything.
Changed my
Oh my god, this movie, I came in with no expectations, and I was surprised that it wasn't garbage. I had a good time with this movie. You know what? This story was very reminiscent of
Misery, yeah,
and it had the tension. It pulled it off. Like, it wasn't garbage. It's not an amazing movie, but it pulled it off. The tension was there, and I'm trying not to spoil anything, but Man, Omari Hardwick is a baller in this movie, man. Like he's flying planes. Couldn't just take a road trip. Like they had to make him fly a plane. Like they could have crashed the car. Like, but they're like, nah, man, we gotta use that budget.
Now the scene in the beginning where they're like he's arguing with his wife, and he's like, "I'm bust down this door, this $1,500 door." I was like, "What kind of oak y'all using on this door?"
Oh yeah.
I was like, "The hell?" I was like, "Did you chop down the wood yourself and get it done?" And man, it's like expensive ass door.
Yeah, it has doors like that, man. It has marble and everything.
And I didn't know what was going on with that scene at first. I was like, "Is he abusive?" I didn't even know they were joking. Until like last minute, he was like, "Ha ha, baby!" I was like, "Oh,
really?"
It came off weird. It came off like he was really going to be like, "Bust down that door, girl." I was just like, "Damn, he's an abusive lawyer."
Nah, man, I didn't get that at all.
I got that.
I just got that he was pulling her leg.
I was just like, "Oh," because the thing is, like Omari Hardwick's acting, that demeanor during that scene was Ghost. That demeanor was Ghost and Tasha arguing. So I was just, oh shit, he ain't gonna choke her up. That door down, oh, please no. So I just have PTSD from Power.
Yeah.
And then that demeanor during that scene just came off very ghostish. So I had to put away my bias.
Yeah.
Put that to the side. This is a different character.
He does the same acting in almost every movie to me, though.
He had to do a lot of physical acting in this movie. He had to faces and struggle face and tense veins popping out.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's a good actor. His character is good that he does, but it's the same guy all the time. There's nothing wrong with that. Some actors get away with that.
Good supporting actor, but I'm not sure how you feel as a leading man though.
No, I think he could do it. I think he's doing a good job as a lead.
I think he's okay. Like, sorry to bother you. Did great. He was there as a supporting character. Kick-Ass. Some people don't even remember him in Kick-Ass. But
I don't remember him in Kick-Ass at all.
He does a great job there. In Power, I think he does well when he's playing off of the actor that plays Tommy. Together, they bounce off of each other. In this film, he has to really hold his own, and it's a film where they're using hoodoo and conjuring spells, and it's a lot of like physical, demanding acting where he's just and he has to portray that pain at times, and just I don't know.
I feel that
he could. Doesn't.
I honestly feel he could be a lead in a movie. He did a great job in this to keep the momentum going and the suspense going. I think he could do it. This movie just didn't have the writing palette to really to get that. He didn't have enough to work with writing. So like it had enough for suspense and stuff like that, but the writing wasn't fully there. So I don't put that on him. I think he could hold a movie for himself, and he's shown that in this and in Power, being a character that when he's not there, it feels like it's missing. Like watching the new Power show, feels like it's missing something because him and Tommy aren't in it. You know what I mean? So
now, for the writer, let me go dive into this hole for the woke crowd. So this film deals with hoodoo, and the writer for this is a guy named Kirk Wimmer, and he's a white man. And he's written for a couple of things. He wrote Law Abiding Citizen, which I like. He wrote the newest Total Recall, which is crap. He wrote Equilibrium, which was okay. So he's kind of up and down with his writing. Now, the woke crowd's issue with him writing this is it's a story of hoodoo, and they feel like whenever they talk about like hoodoo or voodoo, it's always just the black magic aspect of it. They don't show like the protection spells and the healing and the religion behind it. It's always just woogity boogity, blow the white powder in the face. It's always just seen as like demonic and evil, black magic. They never like dive into like the traditional aspect of voodoo and hoodoo. It's always just seen as just scary black magic.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of that goes back to history with the Haitian War. A lot of some white people felt some type of way about the revolution because they felt like, oh, the Haitians used voodoo to win that. So that's always been like the misconception that they won that war by using voodoo. That's how they freed themselves with voodoo. So voodoo's always seen as evil ever since that.
Yeah.
And you see more of that in this film. You just see, I'm gonna do some scary stuff.
Yeah.
Voodoo.
And at the same time, while it had parts that were engineered and written to be scary, when you really look through it, what they were doing were helping people. So they weren't helping him, but I don't think they liked him. But they were, when you saw what they're doing for the townspeople, they were actually helping them. So
the thing is, Hoodoo is mainly conjuring and root work, which they showed some of in this, but they just focus mainly on hexes. Hexes, a hex is a part of that, but they just mainly just show, I'm gonna put a hex on you.
Yeah,
they kind of just buckle down on this. And the difference is, voodoo is seen as like a religion, and hoodoo is seen as like a practice. Because when I was in New Orleans, I went to a voodoo place, and I met up with a voodoo lady, and got me a voodoo doll and all that good stuff, and
oh Lord,
learned some more about the culture of voodoo and voodoo or voodoo.
African culture.
There's different pronunciations of it.
Yeah,
depending on the region.
Yeah, I have a whole thoughts on that stuff.
So,
but our antennas,
Indian West African spiritual traditions.
Exactly,
and I felt like they kind of dived into that a little bit because the story needs a little bit more fleshing out.
I don't think they have the caliber of writing to be able to dive into that properly. My thing here is like our antennas are being pushed to the wrong signal, and that type of stuff is our culture. You know what I mean? So it's being disrespected in these storytelling things, like with some hillbilly redneck evil people.
Because what if somebody was to make a movie about Christian and they're just crazy, like, I'm eating the blood of Christ, and
exactly yeah, exactly,
there'll be some offense to that.
That's what's happened throughout history with this stuff, generationally. When Beyonce did that the movie she did for Disney, and people were like,
they saw that as dark magic too, like dark magic.
It's like, no, that's not that. That's not what that is at all. It's like,
it's just funny that whenever we see like African culture, African spirituality, we automatically assume evil and darkness because we're brainwashed to think that.
Exactly. So
going back to this review,
I don't want to get too far into that, but people who know, they know, So
my slight little rant. One of the themes is they always harp on him being like a city boy, and then them going to the country. I don't feel like they ever like they mentioned it, but I felt like there had been a full circle, like they explain why, or I don't know, some type of resolution to that, where he's like, I'm proud of being a city boy. I'm proud of being I thought there's going to be a moment where he just accepts all of that and they address it, but they're just like, nah.
That's a big gripe that I have with this movie, because it's an issue that's happening right now, where people don't know. People from New York and California don't know the gripes of the people in the middle states. You know what I'm saying? So like, you being a city slicker, when you like, if I'm in like a New Yorker goes to North Carolina and New Yorkers are looking at North Carolina like, oh man, look at these Southerners in the States. It's like, nah, man, it's your peoples too. That's an American too. Like, why are you looking at him like, oh, he talks different, and then you know what I'm saying? So, like they're judging. It's like, nah, y'all are still, all you guys are Americans. You should unite, know each other, learn each other's culture. How come me, a Canadian, could come here and be like, nah, man.
Is that red versus blue bullshit, Casey?
Yeah, exactly. So like with this movie, I was hoping that they're going to take an evolution of that and do something with it. Like take a core of that and do more with it, because they introduced his father, who was doing something to him throughout the whole movie while he was having flashbacks. And, I don't want to get into spoilers, but there's things that they could have done in this movie where it took it to another level. And that's what disappointed me with this movie.
I was waiting for him to turn into Shadow Man. It never happens. They just gonna get superpowers.
Like they showed all these things, and it felt like while it worked for the thrill, it was obvious they were just doing it for the thrill.
There's a scene where I think it's the son. He calls one guy. I think he calls him like a country bumpkin ass nigga. And I was like, whoa. Don't you call him no country? Like, she wasn't mad about him calling him a nigga, but she's like, don't you call him? I was like,
but
this is how you gonna choose your battles? Don't call him no country bumpkin because your dad was from this and that.
Yeah.
I was like, I see where they're going, but
they had
got on them for calling him a nigga too. Like,
exactly. But they had that inclination of that element of like, okay, are they taking it there? But they didn't take it there.
Missed opportunity.
Because like that in horror movies and stories, like I Know What You Did Last Summer, whenever everybody does something wrong, the group does something wrong, and that one person that's like, no, we should tell the police. We should go back. They're the ones who usually survive the movie. You know, the one who has that nobility in them is usually the one that survives the story. In
the
this,
person
it
with
was
some
like,
morality to them.
yeah, so they sprinkled it in like, okay, they're gonna take that. Are they taking that avenue in this storytelling? But then they just said, nah, we just try to make some thrillers,
I'm
man.
putting you on the spot. You ready? I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh Lord,
Pop quiz. What was his daughter's name?
I don't remember because they didn't do a good story telling her.
I don't remember her
damn about his daughter. He didn't give a damn about his daughter. He looked at
what's her name? Did she talk? I just remember her. She was just a warm body.
Yeah, on an iPhone. She's just on her phone all the time. That's it.
That was the easiest check.
Same daughter from Power.
Raina had more personality.
No, the other daughter.
Shit, he has another daughter?
Yeah, he has a baby daughter. Remember, she got poisoned at first because someone hid something in a crib in Power? In the first season? Yeah, you see? She was sick and she almost died. That's what caused all the spiral of chaos to happen.
Nope.
Yep.
Do not remember her.
This honestly felt like it was the same writers of Power. Like, this was like them saying, okay, let's try to make a movie. Let's do this. And I applaud that because the way it ended with the hip-hop music, like at first I was like, what the hell? This is weird. This is jarring the way it ended. But then after a while I was like, yo, I like this song. This song bops. Who made this? And I was looking up the song. Yo, this credit song got some bops to it, man. I like it.
One of the worst characters to be in the film was his son.
Oh yeah.
His acting was very spotty at times.
That was the director's son, man.
That's somebody's cousin.
Dad, I want to be
baby,
in your
come
movie.
On, set, baby. Ain't no words, baby.
My dad will have your ass if I'm not in this movie. You know, like some producer's son or something.
I'll talk more about my gripes with him when we get to spoilers.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so let's get into the good. The one highlight of this film, to me, is Loretta Devine, Eloise.
Yeah,
who we know from Waiting to Exhale and playing everybody's black mama in every movie.
She was definitely the standout, like, actor.
She was like a sweet, evil woman.
Yeah.
And what was her?
She was a standout character
between him and the dad. Like, I was like, does she know him or did she just find this random black man and put him in the attic?
Man, we gotta wait for spoilers to talk about that one.
Well, that's a spoiler because I watched it over. I still didn't get.
No, I mean like to get into that.
That's a good black man right there. We're gonna go ahead and put him upstairs now.
Hey, I don't know. We'll talk about that in spoilers.
Okay, because to me it seemed random. Like, how you just stumble upon a black man in water? Because the story is that he crashes the plane, he ends up in that situation. How's he get out?
Mm-hmm,
My thing is, okay, you see these people floating in the water. You're like, baby, let's get this one and that one, and like, how you end up in that situation?
Yeah, where
you just see them in the like you're driving. You're like, there's some Negroes floating down there, baby. Let's go drive down there and get some.
Yeah, very
exactly,
very.
Casey.
Yeah, no, I know. I get you.
Driving, you're like, oh shit, they need my help, so we're gonna get down there and help them right now.
Hey,
and kidnap them while we're at it.
Might as well just kidnap them because they're, you know, need someone to do the yard work.
Like you come back from Walmart, you see people floating in the water. Well, I guess these groceries about to come home late.
You're rescuing them in
girls out here in the water.
While you're rescuing them, driving them home, you're like, you know, I really don't really feel like doing the grass anymore. Maybe he can do it for me.
Got some free labor.
Yeah, exactly.
So I could best describe this movie as misery for the first 2 acts, and then the third act becomes Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
They lost their mind. The third act, it was like, we didn't show enough violence, so let's go ahead and just step it up. Let's go 0 to 100 now. Yeah. And there's a couple grotesque scenes with like a spike. And I thought they did that well.
They did that great. Yeah,
very nasty. So overall, this film, you know, it's not gonna get an Oscar and shit like that.
Nah.
Are you gonna enjoy yourself? Yes. Is it?
Yeah.
At a decent pace, I think it was paced well. I think it was entertaining. I am going to give it 6.5.
Yeah, I give it about a 6, solid 6. Yeah, good. No, 6.5 is good. That's a good spot because it does a good job of like keeping you interested to see what's going to happen next. But it's just that
it's a fun, dumb movie.
Yeah, that landing, they didn't stick that landing.
For man, that landing. If you just want to see some crazy shit at the end, like Amari Hardwick like beating people's asses,
Yeah.
The third act
6.5 is a good spot.
All for you.
6.5 is a good spot.
You notice they covered all his tattoos with like paint?
Yeah.
Paint coming off.
I couldn't tell that. I wasn't looking at the man's chest that hard, but
because I have an old LED TV.
Oh, okay, nice.
Like it just emphasizes on everything. I was like, man, they just blotched some paint on this man's chest.
Low budget.
They're like, y'all got some Party City paint.
Yeah, but this movie did. This movie did its thing, though. It wasn't horrible or nothing, but it just, man, could have been so much more if they took their time and wrote this thing.
Casey gave his review. I gave my review.
Yeah.
You're listening on the podcast. Look at the episode description. Skip ahead if you don't want to hear these spoilers, because we's about to go in. All right. So his son, worst actor of the film. There's a scene where he loses his hand, and just his reactions is like, "It gone." Like he just looked at it like, "Oh, I still got money though, right?"
Yeah, exactly.
Like he didn't care that his hand was gone.
Yeah, he was showing his dad, and he's just like, it was such crap acting. I was like, this kid's not even trying. Producer daddy just put him in this movie. Like,
I don't know what he was doing. The daughter didn't talk at all. The wife,
she had
bless her heart, man. She didn't really have much to do.
She was more the defining character of the family. Like she defined like the pillars of the family. You know what I mean? Like who they are and what they stand for. Yeah, because she gave the moral to the family. Like we shouldn't do this. We're not that type of family that does this. We don't judge people like that. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like the writer added that shit last minute to add some dimension to the character. Like,
yeah, but
fuck, we forgot to write stuff for her. Let's go back.
Yeah, exactly. She put the heart in the family. Like she made, if they're just a piece of shit rich family, you would be like not rooting for them. But because her character put heart in them, it's just a cold marketing, jokey, sarcastic guy. You know what I mean? Kind of an asshole.
I feel like Omari Hardwick's
how she locked the door and she couldn't get out, and he was like, "Nah, man, I can't do it. Got to call services." Like, but he looked so dead serious and even fooled you. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it was like her character was great because it gave them that balance of heart to actually care about this family. So
plot twist, Casey, ready for this?
What's up?
Omari Hardwick's character survives, makes it back home, and starts campaigning for Trump. That's what happens at the end. All these black people are like, damn, we were rooting for you, man.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how they should have ended the film. They should have ended the film with him going home, and then he sticks a "Make America Great Again" sign in front of his house.
Yeah.
And then the audience has to fight with themselves, like, damn, I was rooting for this guy the whole time. He seems like a decent person, but he's a Trump supporter.
There's so many people like that.
Decent people. Bam!
18%, man. 18%.
There you go. They're doing mental gymnastics. Yeah. That's how I would have ended the film.
The black man vote was 12% last time. This year it's 18%. So, hey, man, there's a lot of people like that.
Maury Hart watching right now
that we probably follow on Instagram who are like, yeah, man, no, fuck Trump. And then in the voting poll,
they're like,
Trump guy, man, tax breaks, baby. Exactly. So a lot of those guys.
Amari's character is like, shit, he ain't gonna fuck up my taxes.
Yeah, exactly.
My gripe with this character, I felt like he didn't really evolve at the end. Like he evolved in some ways because he started using his dad's teachings. Yeah. But I feel like he still had that mentality that he looked down on country bumpkins. Because at the end, he's like, I'm going to kill these country bumpkin bastards. Y'all going to pick the wrong one.
Yeah.
He's like, because he's going to leave that situation really not even liking them even more now.
Yeah, now he's like, I ain't never coming back.
Never come back, these country ass motherfuckers.
What happened to his dad's funeral? Who called him?
Loretta Devine? No.
You see what I mean? Like, that was a big hole in the story. I'm like, okay, is his dad in the basement chopped up or something? Like, was this whole thing
the hand that he was drinking in the soup, that was his son's hand?
Yeah, that was his son's hand.
So these voodoo people, or hoodoo people, they do conjuring, they do these different healing spells. They're like, I'm going to heal somebody by cutting off his hand. That makes no damn sense.
Exactly. That was just a terror. That was a terror bullshit.
That was a white writer saying, black magic. That's what that was.
Exactly. Yeah, because that was like, okay, what are they trying to do here? Because at first it felt like they rescued him. But then they were like, okay, do we help this guy? Do we not help this guy? He's in the middle of our whole organization here. And we cannot get some city guy going back to the city saying, look what they're doing down there. You know, because they didn't know he had the teachings of anything. They don't know who his father is. They didn't do a good job of telling us any of that. So we're just thinking these people are just evil. But went a whole nother way where they're like, yo, we just don't want you telling people outside what we're doing. We're really helping people. Because I had the scene where it looked scary and everything, but they were giving the sight back to a guy. They gave the woman ability to be able to talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were actually.
That scene was funny though. They gave him the little pig eyes. He's like, I can see. And there's a Negro right up there.
Yeah. I was laughing so hard when he's like, up there. There's somebody up there.
He's like, I can smell him and now I can see him. He's right up there, yo.
I was like, oh shit, the power really works. At least give him a little bit of happy times with it. You know what I mean?
And they come out. It's raining hard as hell. He go back in that bed, soaked with rain clothes. Yeah. I'm just out here sweating, girl. Yeah. I just had the fevers.
Yeah. Okay. Like, another thing is the whole pickaxe. The guy made a vagina out of his own foot. Like, he took it out and then put it back in. Like, why did he put it back in when they were coming up the room? I thought he would
use it as a weapon and be like, I'm coughing. Come here, Loretta Devine. Stabbed her in the neck with it.
Yeah, but why did he put it back in? They were going to cut his foot off if he took it out.
I guess to stop the bleeding. He didn't have anything to cauterize it or sew it. So he's just like, I'm going to take this L. But he took it out again.
Yeah.
Man, he needs a tetanus shot.
He was sticking that dildo up and down his heel.
It was long, too.
Yeah. I was like, the second that comes out, you know how painful it's going to be? To put that back in is like, that's crazy.
He just made the face like he was about to yell at Tosh. It was just like,
yeah, they did a good job of building that terror of actually having to pull something out of your foot. Like, I stepped up on a nail a long time ago when I was little, and that nail, man, that thing hurt. Like a little.
That thing was about
those little sewing pins. A little sewing pin.
Half muscle length of a nail.
Yeah, the little sewing pin hit the bone in my foot, and like I pulled it out, and that thing hurt for that. That hurt. I had to go. I went to the hospital and everything for that. This guy had a whole like friggin' pickaxe. Like, this thing was like a whole inch, like a foot long. I don't know how the hell he got that out. That thing was.
Let's talk about the third act.
Done. He's not walking on that.
With the whole where the switch goes off in his head. I'm gonna use my dad's teachings.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna whoop everybody's ass.
With the teachings.
He'd walk around with blood-soaked body and clothes. It was just kind of like a cop-out horror movie trope where, I don't know, like you see it in a lot of horror movies where like, it's my time to rebel against the bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm not the victim anymore. I'm the predator.
Mm-hmm.
That was like that moment right there. And then Loretta Devine's character even put up much of a fight. She's an old-ass woman. Yeah. And he's a 40-something-year-old man that's very athletic. Ain't no fair fight. Beat the brakes off of her. Let her burn.
My favorite character was that dude, the big dude. Cletus or whatever hell his name was.
He started drowning?
Yeah.
He should have been drowning from a long time because he dropped that voodoo doll in the water.
Yeah, he should have been done before he ran up the stairs. But when he first entered the movie, I was like, oh shit, who's this guy? This guy just comes in like, doom, 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 doom.
This is what I would think, because I'm terrible. I would have got a bucket with some pee. I filled that bucket up with some pee and dropped his doll in that. And he would have been walking and like, tasting something salty. Drowning on some piss juices. I would have drowned him in my own urine.
Yeah, I wouldn't have had time to do that. Oh my gosh, but that character was great. The dad, okay, the husband of Loretta Devine's character. What happened to him at the end? He just dipped?
I don't know what happened. He went on vacation.
Yeah, man said, man, I'm sick of this shit.
He's like, I guess I'm gonna catch the next blood moon.
Yeah, exactly. Where'd he go?
He left.
Yeah, that didn't make no damn sense.
The whole town was in on it, the sheriff. So he gets all these dolls, and that's kind of like his leverage to get out. So
a box of dolls.
What's he doing? He's leaving. Take your dolls, and he just flies off. Like,
it doesn't make any sense. They just wrapped it. In my opinion, they honestly just fully wrapped the movie. They're like, nah, he's just going to take a box of dolls, hold them, and walk out the barn. It's like, what? How are they okay with that? They could have just jumped on him and grabbed the box, if anything. You know what I'm saying? There's like 20 of them. Should have burned the box.
Took out the whole village, man.
It would have been at least doper. If they're going to wrap it, he should have burnt the box while all those people were outside the thing. Like, come on out, boy. We got you surrounded. And he's like, you ain't got shit, bro.
Then you would have saw people like, look, black lives don't matter. Look at it. He done burnt all them black folks out there.
Everybody's catching on fire outside the barn.
Catching them on fire.
And he's just
running I don't know. I don't think that would have been a good look if he killed all of them.
Yeah, but this whole thing wasn't a good look at the end, man. They just wrapped it up with some voodoo dolls.
Okay,
like,
so all right. So how did she stumble upon them? Because you said that was a spoiler.
Well, the plane fell, and then it looked like they just found them there, and were like, "Do we help this guy or do we not help this guy?" And they were helping him at
like
first.
He was in the middle of the ocean. That one scene where they're like the plane fell and they're in the water.
Yeah, the whole plane thing was just extra though. They could have just drove. Like, really, what are they flying for? Like, they could have drove like a Mercedes Benz or something.
He's like, gas.
Yeah,
you bitch, I'm trying to fly.
Yeah, but my thing was like, okay, they're above the clouds, so how could they get caught? I don't know. I don't fly, so I don't know. But I was watching that, I'm like, it'd make more sense if they drove and got caught in the rainstorm and slid off the road, which could happen on a road trip easily. This was like, okay, aren't they above the clouds? So why did the storm affect them?
And then the likelihood of surviving a plane crash like that with such a small plane.
Yeah, they're dead.
So
not one died. Not one had a broken arm. Nothing. Like, they were just like,
killed his daughter. She didn't do nothing.
Maybe that should have happened. Maybe the daughter should have got murked in that scene.
Or they could have the plot twist where this is all in his head and he's in the coma or he's dead.
Oh, that would have pissed me off. I hate when shows do that. It was a dream.
He wakes up. Oh man.
Still rich. Still rich.
Luis was gonna
still rich. But no, yeah. So that's why I was like, okay, they found him and they were trying to figure out, do we trust this guy or not? And if not, we're gonna sacrifice him. If we do, we can put him into this.
How's his son like get back to like regular life now in one hand? Like, he comes back to school like, I lost my hand, but I got this Gucci chain. Like, how's that work?
How's he gonna play PS5 now?
Nope.
Yeah. Oh,
his
man.
basketball career is gone.
Yeah, that was a shooting hand too.
Done.
He had the bent up finger too.
He's just like, yeah.
He had the bent up finger and everything too. That was a funny scene when the guy's hand was so big. When he put the bones together, the kid's hand was huge in comparison to his dad.
Was that?
Yeah. I was like, that was a cool little thing they just did there.
I would have thought that they would have been feeding him his dad.
That would have been interesting.
And they were like, we killed your daddy. He was trying to stop us from doing this ritual, and we killed him, and now your black ass is here.
Or if it was his dad running this whole thing the whole time. And he's like, yo, I thought you were dead. Boy, I wanted your blood. You know, it's like, and he was the boss of like
your boy. Now
of the Vine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you think the Vine's the bad guy? No, it's the dad. It's like, oh shit, that's why he came to the funeral. It's his funeral. It's Hardwick's funeral.
So after he leaves that place, he shows up to the funeral. Sorry, I'm late. My son's missing a hand.
Yeah, like, they're really going to a funeral? I thought the funeral was going to be Lamar Hardwick. Like, that's what I thought the twist was going to be. And he sucked him into this town to do this shit to him. And he's like, nah, Dad. You're not doing this to me. You know what I mean? Some twist.
Deep, Casey.
No, but that would be a dope twist, though. What do you think of that, if that was the twist?
It could have worked. If that was the third act, I would have enjoyed that more than I'm going to
just butcher everything.
Blood and go around killing people.
Yeah, it was like, what? Come on, man. I think stories usually have like a inner story, you know, like a father-son type of thing, or a bigger story behind it. This was just for the thrill, you know. That's why it
like
felt
when he confronts the sheriff, it's kind of like he's teleporting, kind of like Jason or one of those like slasher film villains, because the sheriff's like, where are you? He's just bucking shit.
Yeah,
Amari just like, break yourself, fool, just shows up out of nowhere.
Yeah,
that's almost like he's doing like a slasher like person.
He just got superpowers. He almost blood and
I was like, when can he start teleporting?
Like, he would have like bacterial infection in his foot, first of all, a hole that big and a dirty ass thing.
He remembered all his teachings from the early 90s from his daddy.
Didn't he call the sheriff, and the sheriff said, no, your wife's good, she's here, we got, you know, remember that?
The sheriff was in on it.
Yeah, so why was the sheriff so helpful over the cell phone? Why wasn't the sheriff
trying to conjure up a wife for himself? I don't know what the sheriff's plan was. He's like,
the sheriff should have been like, where are you right now? If he's in on it, he's like, yeah, no, I'll come help you. Where are you right now? And then the sheriff comes with the divine lady and all them, and like, gotcha, bitch, you dumb motherfucker. You thought we, you know what I mean? Like,
who's the country bumpkin now?
Yeah, exactly. Little city slicker, you think you could call with your little cell phone? You know, like something like that. But the sheriff actually helped him. You know what I'm saying?
I tell you, man, I don't know if the writer started writing this like over the summer.
Yeah.
And then he picked it up a year later. It's like, let me finish it. Oh, shit, I even know I wrote all that other stuff.
Yeah, I guess the sheriff helps him, but the sheriff's in on it? Like, what?
He's like, I'll figure it out on the way.
And what happened to the boy who was like, nah, I ain't going in that parts of town?
He didn't go to that parts of town. That was the end of his story. He looked, he's like,
this guy was really ready to. This guy was really ready to teeth out everything. He's looking at the girl in the plane. He was looking at the cell phone. He was trying to rob everything.
His country accent. I don't know what part of the country that it was. I can't even reenact that. It was like, there ain't no thing. Like he ran off the plantation. Y'all gonna get in a heap of trouble if you goes down there.
Yeah, I was like, this kid is going to go fishing. Like, it's such an innocent thing. I mean, he's here trying to rob out a cell phone, plotting on a plane. Like, if you see people with a cell phone, an airplane, going to put gas in, like, I would be like more alarmed. Like, that's not something you want to be teething from.
That kid ran off a plantation.
I'm saying though, like, it was not the most thought out thing. Like, they just want to build the thriller. You know what I mean? They want to thrill you.
What kind of Huckleberry Finn shit is this? He showed up. I was going to catch me some fish. I was like,
I was like, okay, this guy's just going fishing. Like, why are we making him this evil plotting guy? Like, he's like looking at everything like,
we're in the same universe. Maybe he left that place from Antebellum and was just walking, and then he just stumbled upon Omari Hardwick's fame.
I'm telling you, like, liberal New Yorkers are gonna watch this movie and be like, yeah, you see, this is how it is in the South. Don't trust those crazy Negroes down there. You know what I mean? This is
talking like a slave, and he has to feed himself by fishing every day.
It's not like that. Like,
they don't have grocery stores, bro.
Yeah, it's like the gas stations in this dusty ass place. Like, even Arizona's not like that. Arizona's like more polished than that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know. You went through a time machine, man.
You know what I'm saying, right?
I know what you're saying. That place was the most rural backwoods, and then his country dialect was the most country.
I haven't been everywhere in the States.
Sounding dialect I've ever heard.
I've been to a lot of places in the States, and it's even the rural spots aren't grimy like that.
But there should be at least a Waffle House somewhere.
Yeah,
one Waffle
I was like, this is not what the South looks like. Who's gonna believe this? And sure as bad, like, I'm sure a bunch of people from the cities and shit.
I was like, he can't stop at a Sheetz gas station.
I'm saying
they're everywhere.
24-hour Walmart, like.
I was like, exactly.
Like, really? So, but okay, and where's he flying to? Like, how far is he flying? If he's going,
I don't know. He was flying like this was his first time.
I'm saying.
Oh shit! No.
It's like, y'all want to hear music? We can hear music in these headphones. He's the only one with headphones on. You know how loud a plane is? Like, they're not going to be able to hear each other like that.
Okay, so I think that his character was doing a lot of simulating flying at home on the computer or whatever. He's like, yo, now's my chance to stunt. I'm going to show my family what I've learned. I've been playing plane so hard. Simulator. And then he panicked in that storm and he crashed.
My thing is, like, the real acting of it was like he's doing all these things in midair, and it's like
still crash.
No, but it's not affecting anything on the flight. Like, if you're playing with all these different buttons in your car or anything like that, you're gonna get a little shaky. Like, he's like fully.
That's like me saying, man, there's a lot of black ice on this road.
He's just doing a shitty acting job.
What's that gonna do?
Yeah,
he's up over my sunroof because there's a lot of snow on the ground.
Yeah, they should have just kept it in a car, because Omari, clearly, I don't think he has this pilot license to say, like, oh, yeah, I'm going to act like I'm flying. And he's pulling all these gadgets and touching all these things while in the air.
Let me hit the ejecto seat button real quick.
Yeah, I'm sure a pilot's watching that and being like, nah, you shouldn't be touching that right now while in air. Like,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the acting part for that was comical for me. Like, I was like, come on, man. Are you learning how to fly in real life? So you're like, nah, I got to be in a plane for this.
So I'll tell you, this was his first flight. And he put his family at risk.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was not a good look.
What was his job? Marketing?
Say what?
What was his job?
He was a lawyer.
A lawyer? Okay.
Yeah, because
he was marketing.
That white guy's like, you're the best goddamn lawyer on my team. Like, it was just like a corny speech.
I'm like, what the hell is the point of this? To show he's a badass lawyer? Okay.
Yeah, because the speech with him and that white guy, he's like, oh, like, because I think they're suing like some poor black people or something like that. He's like, it's your people, we gotta stick it to them. It was some shit like that. It was some type of case that Mark Hardwick was to take. He's like, you're my best goddamn lawyer. You gotta.
I love you, brother. Like, what the hell?
Because even when he got confronted by the cop, he's like, I know the law. I'm a lawyer. Blah blah blah.
Okay.
That was him stunting his law degree.
And lawyers just hearing, I'm a city slicker.
Yep.
I'm better than you. I was like,
the sequel is going to be him coming back to town and suing everybody. You're
exactly.
You're going to garnish everybody's wages.
Yeah. So yeah, the story had a lot of problems, a lot of holes in it, but it was still enjoyable. I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I liked it.
I could watch
it again. It's fun.
Yeah, I'll make my girl watch it and be like, yo, check this movie out. I'll tell people check it out.
Might be funnier.
Yeah, it'll be funnier. He did a good job. The nail part though was like, come on, man. You're passing out after pulling that out.
Put it back in, man.
After putting that back in, you're passing out.
It looked infected. I was like, you might have that gangrene, son.
You didn't see the pus come out of it too? I was like, oh man, he's done. He's done. Thing is back building up bacteria inside of it. Like,
he needs a tetanus shot, man.
He needs a lot of different shots.
All right, so that's it for our review of Spell. We're moving on to our next review. Netflix, His House.
Whose house?
His house.
Let's see.
All right, so His House stars Soap Desira and Wumimi Musuka, who I know as Ruby from Lovecraft Country.
Yes.
And I did not know she was British.
Oh man, these British actors, man, they're killing it.
Taking everything.
They're killing it because she's an incredible actor.
She was born in Nigeria and she grew up in I think London. That's why she has a British accent. She was in that episode of Black Mirror.
Oh, okay. I didn't even realize that.
It was
Which one?
It was that video game episode. I forgot the name of it. Anywho, she's British. Did not know that. She does a great job hiding that accent.
Mm-hmm.
This movie, let's go back. Let me pull up the synopsis real quick for you folks.
You can read it off?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, cool. No, I'm looking up something right now. If you want to read it off, I can do it right now though.
You can read it out, sir, because I didn't find it yet.
A refugee couple makes a harrowing escape from war-torn South Sudan, but then they struggle to adjust to their new life in an English town that has an evil lurking beneath the surfaces. Very interesting. So that's
this is directed by Remy Weeks. I'm not sure if you guys know Fright Bites. That was a film that they worked on 2016. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with any of their other stuff. They have a short film called Exhale, so this is like their big breakthrough.
Okay.
And I have to say, I think they nailed it.
They nailed this for sure, man. They killed this one. Man, this movie is like they did a great job. This is what I'm talking about. Like, it's not just for the terror. The terror was there, but it had a psychological and a strong storytelling element to it that made sense to why the terror was there. It wasn't just for the cheap thrill. It was actually something that a person could relate to going through this situation. So I've thoroughly enjoyed this movie, man.
I like the isolation that these characters feel. They're refugees from Sudan.
Yeah.
Move into this house. They're not really accepted by like the white British community.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
There's scenes where you see like the main character going to the store and he's shopping, and you see like white people like following him in the store. They do it very subtle in the film. I was like, okay,
I love the way they did that.
I see that. There's an interaction with the woman, Rial, as she's interacting with these young British youths, and they're basically being like xenophobes, or like, go back to fucking Africa.
Yeah.
Like her own black people are looking down on her.
Yep.
White people are looking down on her. Her house that she lives in is a mess and it's haunted, so she doesn't feel at home in his house.
Exactly.
I was just like, damn, that's deep.
Yeah. This deals with like, what is it called? Like victor's guilt, survivor's guilt, survivor's guilt, man. Because like they did it. They actually got to where they wanted to be. And is it really where they want to be? So that challenge, along with all these other things that are coming at them.
Yeah. So they have the challenge of, as you said, survivor's guilt, and then being refugees, and then finally obtaining a home.
Yeah.
And this home just so happens to be haunted.
It's like, yo, man.
Like, where do I go back to? Do I go back to a dictatorship where I damn near die? Do I live on the streets, or do I I'm going to make it work? And that's the mindset that they have in this film as they're dealing with this supernatural threat that's there. It's not
Mhm.
like one of those films where it's like, so white people can go to a haunted house and like, nah, we're gonna stay in this haunted house and learn about it. Like, these
Mhm.
people really don't have another option. Like, this is
No.
it.
Yeah. And they have
They have to
nobody to
make it
talk to.
work. They have to make this house work.
With nobody to talk to, no coping mechanism. Anybody that they do counsel with are the ones who determine if they go back or not. They're told that 90%, 95% of people that get this opportunity end up getting sent back. So that element of anxiety is there also for them. So they're just like in this place, like, where are we? Who are we? And where do we move from here? Mentally, so it's
Yep,
dope.
and they're dealing with this just conniving creature that's in their walls. Because there's a scene where this guy's working, he gets bit by the creatures early in the film.
Mm-hmm.
My mind says, "Get the fuck out of there." That's not an option.
Nope. To where?
That's not an option. You're in government housing. You're basically seeking refuge.
Yeah.
From Sudan, and where do you go from there? If because they basically gave them that place, and they're like, "Hey, if you fuck it up, that's on you."
Yeah. And they put them in like the most beat up of places they could put
the
them
oldest pizza on the ground when they walk in there.
Yeah. And they don't know if like the next day they're going to be gone from there. So they're not really like, they're just like sleeping on the floor. They're not really like, oh, let's go to IKEA and buy all this stuff. You know what I mean? They're just like, we don't know when we're going to be gone. Let's unroll this mat. There's not even a mattress, like a comforter, and put it on the floor and lie on that. Cause we don't know, tomorrow they might be like, nah, we need you out of here.
I think this film is needed right now, especially with all the racism all over the world, not just in America. Britain has it as well. Exactly. It humanizes refugees for people. And I think a lot of people, they just so narrow-minded and they have like such box vision that they're just like, they came here, they took our jobs. They don't really know the struggle that refugees and immigrants have when they come to a different country.
And that their ancestors had coming to America.
Refuge.
Mm-hmm.
Like they humanize that. They show you the struggles with that. And
yeah.
So happen to have supernatural elements in there to keep you on your toes.
Yeah, and it actually happened numerous times from Greece from Africa. People were taking the boats up there to try to seek refuge, and the Greece government was sending them back because they couldn't take any more because they didn't want to take any, and people were drowning in the Black Sea area. So that just happened while COVID was at its highest.
Hell, that reminds me back in the 90s,
a couple months ago
in Canada, with all the Somalians coming to Canada and being in like in Ritchie Street and all these government housing in Canada. I remember that was like such a new thing. And the Canadians, how they were acting to this new rising Somalian community. They're just like, whoa.
Yeah, no, but Canada took a lot of people in, so didn't put them in the best of areas, but hey man, those areas were fun for me to hang out with when I was little in Ottawa. So
and those areas reminded me of this film.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It looked like Canadian government housing to me when I was watching. I was like, oh, it's Ritchie Street. A cleaner, nicer version of Ritchie Street.
Yeah. But yeah, it's same thing in Toronto. Like it has that areas like that too. So yeah, it's a crazy thing, man. It's a shame that the world is like it is, with all the war-torn areas and greedy countries taking all the minerals and leaving people with nothing to live on or no pillars to stand on. And then when they try to leave those places because they're all fighting back and forth, they're like getting told, no, you can't come here, from the places that took all the minerals from them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's very interesting. This does a great story, like you said, of empathizing the refugee story.
How do you feel about the main character, Ball? There's times where I was frustrated with him. There's times where I was happy for him.
I felt like he was like a lot of guy characters in stories are, like discard the past and just keep moving forward. And that's how he was. He was more like like just keep moving forward. Tomorrow's another day. He was more, I don't know the big smart word for it, but that's what he was. She was more in the past. Like, we got to write the past. We got to write.
Yeah, we got to right our wrongs.
Yeah. So they were both having that breaking point of where they were and where they're trying to go. And he was all in, like he was in for the dream, the British dream, of, oh shit, you go to H&M, you get a shirt and everything's okay. Like, get me a nice button up shirt. I'm good. Let me get a haircut. she was more not liking eating. She didn't want to eat with the fork. She was like, that's all you taste is metal. Like, who likes this? How do you do this? And he's like, oh, you'll get used to it. Don't worry. We'll start actually tasting the food again soon. You know, so I like that dynamic in the story of her not wanting to move away from her culture and him wanting to be like, nah, let's get the hell out of there. They're murderers, man.
Americanized as possible. And
yeah, he wanted to forget everything. She wanted to deal with it, you know, and actually like get her head right from it. And he was trying the hardest to move away from it. I like that part of the story a lot.
And I misspoke, not Americanized, like Europeanized, Londonized, I guess, himself with the culture.
Yeah, yeah.
I have something on my nose. You want like that?
No. My nose is itching.
Oh, I was like, I haven't been in Oregon. I don't have no booger sugar on.
You can get that at the gas station right there. Just say what else you got to the gas station guy. He'll be like, what else you need?
With that character, I spoke earlier about that scene where he's shopping. There's like a person following him and sort of like, nigga ain't gonna buy nothing. Like,
yeah, security, yeah.
So like I saw that as he's trying his damnedest to fit in with the society, but he's still not accepted.
Yeah, and
I felt like the wife, she never felt accepted as well because situation with the kids, and she didn't feel at home. And then the plot twist, woo! Wasn't ready for that plot twist.
Yeah,
the reveal, I wasn't ready for that. I thought that was done well.
Yeah.
How do you feel how they portrayed the ghosts in the film? I thought they did that well.
I think they did a great job with the way they portrayed that. With the way, it's like if you don't deal with things and you put it off, it just festers and gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I like the way that they did that in this movie. It wasn't a cheap way, like, oh, it's just getting bigger and stronger because that's what a monster does. But they had reasoning to why that's happening. So I get more into that in spoilers, but yeah. I really enjoyed the way that they did it in the wall of this European British house. Like, it's inside of the house and they're inside of the house. So that dynamic was great. So when they went outside, it wasn't around. You know what I mean? Yeah.
At least you're asking that question, whose house?
Exactly.
Whose house is it?
That's exactly. Yeah. That's a good question, right?
His could be the entity that's occupying the house at the time.
Yep.
Reverend Run DMC. I'm sorry I had to spoil it for y'all. He comes out the bathtub with the phone.
He dropped the phone in the bathtub and shocked himself, and he's been haunting them this whole time.
The ghosts are all his kids. It's Diggy. There's my other son right there, Angela.
At least if you're rapping some good songs, man. Some classic Queen's music, man.
Run DMC.
Yeah. Oh man, you ready to get spoilers?
I thought the ghosts were done well. I like that they use like a whole light and dark aspect. Like the light would scare the ghosts off. There's a movie like that where monster will only show up in the dark and then you turn the light on. That light bill must be high as hell though.
Oh yeah.
I'm guessing they had to sleep with the lights on all the time.
When he was doing construction work, I was like, this guy even know electrical work? Like, he's just pulling wires.
He was just pulling wires.
This man's gonna get himself killed.
Box outside and take the electricity off. I was like, he risking his life.
He didn't even go down to the hub area and
the circuit board. Yeah,
he didn't go to the circuit board and be like, did it turn off? Yeah, okay. He didn't hit the whole thing just to be safe. He just started. What is this wire?
I made it to London. I take my chances.
It's just pulling wires, seeing what rips the walls. I'm like, all right, man.
There's a scene where there's like a lot of holes in the wall.
Yeah.
And the person that inspects the house.
Yep.
I feel like that person should have been more mortified by what they saw than how they reacted in the film.
I put it to the fact that the house needed a lot of work. So they were doing construction on the house. So he was giving them a chance, like, does this house, are they actually fixing this place? Yeah, but I think honestly, he was kind of like, are they fixing the place or are they just mad people in this place?
It looks like a madman punched a bunch of walls. If I'm walking in there blind and I see what he did, like, it looks like a madman's punching, like,
yeah.
What's your idea of fixing? We need to get our maintenance man in here because this ain't it.
But if you say there are rats running through the holes, the walls, and you're trying to fix it, and you got the rats, it's like you're gonna maybe give the person a chance. So I saw that as like, okay, this is nuts, but it's kind of they gave a good reason.
He's like, we can't afford to fix this shit, man.
But he was fixing it.
That's probably what
they saw the paint and they saw the different things on the floor. And then when they came back again, it was actually being fixed. Like they were actually, you know what I mean? So I just saw it as like, okay, if this guy's not fixing this and he's actually destroying this, that's bad. Let's see where this goes. Because like the place was a shithole, you know what I mean? So if they were actually fixing it, it's like, oh, that's good. They're actually doing good here. So I just thought he was like, okay, let's see where this goes, in my opinion. Let's get into spoilers.
All right, so I'm giving this a 9. What did you give it?
Yeah, I give this a 9.5, man. I love this movie.
All right, so if you're listening and you didn't watch this film,
check it out.
Now's your time to just drop off the podcast, man. Yeah. It's a wrap after here. We're going to jump into some spoilers.
Yep.
Right about now.
You want to go first? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear.
Oh, okay. Do you want to go first with some spoilers?
Oh, I thought you were saying, but first. I thought.
No.
Give you some deep shit. I was like,
no, I said, do you want to go first?
I was like, what metaphors you about to hit me with, Casey? Because you dip to the side, you're like, but first. I was like, yo, he lost in thought. This shit about to be deep.
No.
Nope.
Not right now.
Now the ghost, it would manifest itself anywhere they go, right? That's what I got from it. It wasn't just in the house. It was a hex or a curse that was binded to the two of them due to what they did.
Yeah. By
stealing that girl and then getting her killed.
That was some grimy shit.
That was a real whoopsie moment. That was like a whoopsie.
Yeah. Like, that was grimy, man. But do you think the ghost was real or do you think the ghost was guilt?
At first, I thought it was like something that was in his head, like it was mental illness.
Yeah.
And he was portraying it as a ghost. And they kind of made it kind of known that it's affecting both of them and it is a ghost, like it's a hex or some type of voodoo man. And I felt like it would have followed them anywhere they went. Like they could have got a new apartment. He'd be like, "It's your boy." Like he'll show up any dark area. I'm here. This is a nice place you got.
I don't know if it was like, okay, you know, when like if somebody has something like a paranoia or something and they convince you of that paranoia, you know what I'm saying? Like you watch a movie.
You thought it was mental illness manifesting itself as like a demon?
I think so, because I think
man, that shit was real, man.
You think it was real? Because I think he was dodging it for so long that when it showed him actually like sitting at the table eating his food with a fork, sitting at the table eating, not sitting on the floor with this eating with his hands and doing it the way he was before. He was in the Gulf Stream. He was fully trying to be ignoring and ignorant to what happened to him in his past. And then it showed it zooming out and he was in water. And then you could see the horizon of the water. It was like, it was all around him. His avoidance of this looming guilt was surrounding him completely. And he couldn't escape it anymore. Like,
I like your metaphors, Casey.
That's when it really just crushed him. Like,
it was a hex. First of all, the daughter's just standing there. And then they're like, oh, that's my kid. Yeah. Take it. And the mom's like, what? Well, what the ass? No. She probably went home. She probably called all the voodoo people she knows. Yeah. You put a hex on him. Because she probably seen them in the neighborhood. You put one on Lowry. You put one on Melissa. I think it's hex the ass.
It could be. Because they
was
both
a
did
hex.
see
She
it.
put a hex on them from day one.
Yeah.
And then when the daughter died, that just made it worse.
Damn. I think it's that guilt. That guilt just, it had them both.
The survivor
convinced each
remorse
other.
And then the guilt just manifested itself as an entity in their house.
Yeah, they both convinced each other that this thing was real. And
it was real, Casey.
Yeah, it was real. The guilt was real, but it was eating them alive.
Damn it. Shut up, Casey.
That guilt was eating them alive, man.
They show you at the end where there's like all these different like ghosts. Is it like different refugees?
Those are people that didn't survive like that.
House.
Those are people that were on the boat that didn't survive. Those are all the people that was with them on the bus ride that didn't make it, that tried to get on the bus. That was the people who got shot when they were growing up. That was the people that were on the boat that drowned. Those are all the people, all the collection of all the people that went through their life that died in front of them as from kids to where they are now. That was a collection of all of that. They've been through together. They went through all of this together. And that's a collection of all the people that died for them to make it to where they are right now.
That's a weird Full House right there.
Yeah, but that's why I'm like, it's in their heads more than it is actual curse.
It's real, Casey.
Could be real. It's a movie, you know what I mean? It leaves it open for your, you to see it how you want.
She put the hoodoo on him, on both of them, because they stole her child, and then her child died. And she was like, oh, no, because she felt it. She felt her daughter's presence leave. And she was like, Lord, what they did on these people.
Well, with storytelling, they would have given you foreshadowing to that happening. You know what I mean?
They did. Hey, when he was fixing the wires, what bit his hand? The rat?
The dumbass cut his hand. This guy's putting his hand in deep places in a wall.
Were the ghosts real or were they They were real, Casey.
They believe that it's real.
It was real.
Like we're going to heaven, right?
Shut up, Casey.
Like they convinced each other that it's real so that it became a real thing in his house. They created this thing, but really it's their guilt messing with them. It's their mind of actually surviving. It's that survivor's guilt that's eating them alive. Yeah?
Disappointed in you.
Okay.
West Indian, all the supernatural things we talk about. It's not real to name.
I'm not saying it's not real.
Put a hex on you.
I'm saying they manifested it by their survivor's guilt.
It was real.
It could be real, yes, but they made it by.
And then I like their neighbor. She'll look at them. The Negroes about to make that noise again. Ever since they moved in, I just hear punching walls and yelling.
Yeah. She's probably the one calling the damn people on them. But
I like the scene where the woman, I forgot her name, I can't even pronounce her name. I gotta do better. Real, where she goes through the window and then she ends up in the school and she sees all these women there, and it's basically telling you it's telling you the backstory in real time. I liked how they did that.
Yeah. And
showing you the PTSD that came with it.
Yep.
Because how that scene shifts when it changes camera angles and you see all the dead people lined up.
Yeah.
That made me jump. I was like, oh shit, that was better than any jump scare.
Best jump scare I've seen since
I didn't see that
video. That was the best jump scare I've seen since the Thriller video. When this camera spins around, she looks at him. But yeah, no, that was like her last peaceful time, like that moment probably before she left to take the bus, or try to get on the bus.
And you saw the urgency of why they did that, why they claimed that girl to be their daughter.
Yeah.
Even though she wasn't, so they could get on that bus.
Yeah.
It reminded me of guys trying to skip in line in Carabana. The situation is way more severe.
Oh yeah.
Desperation though. The desperation was the same.
That's why people drink so much in the party, because they got that survivor's guilt. They made it in while all these other people they know didn't, still out there in the cold.
That same level of desperation to get in there, man. I saw that, man. They were ready.
Yeah.
And
I'll go back to the security following him in the store. Yep. He did look kind of dusty though. He looked like he just walked in there like he didn't sleep. I was like, man, okay. I get it, but why you don't be following him so hard? Ask him for help at least. You know what I mean?
That was some racial profiling shit.
That was definitely racial profiling.
They're like, if you see somebody suspicious, ask them if they need some help, and that usually scares them away. No, it don't.
Nope.
You'd be like, hey, where you keep the so and so at? And you show them where it's at, and they're like, good. Now I know where to steal it from.
When I get roasted, if that ever happens to me, I'm like, oh, you want to help me, huh? All right, well, I need this. Hold this for me. Let's go over here. Can you tell me all about this? What's the difference between this and this? You know what? I'm good. I'm gonna be out. Leave him holding all this shit. Like, yeah, good for you. Yeah, you wanted to work? I'm gonna work you. Make you earn that hour. But yeah, this movie was great. What other spoilers you want to add?
All right, so we talked about the hand cutting. The reveal of the voodoo guy, I thought that was done well. The voodoo doctor.
Yeah.
Was that somebody from the village that they met before? And he's like,
doesn't tell you.
Get y'all one day.
Maybe. Doesn't tell you. It leaves it open to, is it just this or is it that? You know what I mean? So I like that
they
did that in the story. It's up to your how you feel. I think it was real. I just think they manifested it.
Sleep.
They manifested that. They brought that spirit out. That's what I think.
It wasn't. He followed their ass from Africa. He's like, I got travel miles.
This man was like,
he's like, I've been collecting all my points. It took him to get there. It took him a while to get there because he flew with Spirit Airlines.
This man swam.
So he swam.
He left all that madness there to go get these two that actually made it somewhere.
Because this is what I got out of it. I got the same kind of story as Hereditary, where he wanted to take over his body. There's a scene where he's physically like pushing himself into his body, and because at first he was trying to get Royale to kill him, and then he was also telling the guy to basically kill himself, like give up your body to me, a life for a life. And then eventually in that there's that one scene where he's like physically pushing himself into his body. Yeah. I think he was trying to use his body as a host.
Maybe. Yeah.
That's what I got out of it. You got physical manifestation of their PTSD trauma causing them, which is possible.
Creating an entity. So, yeah. That thing
was creating an entity. I got demon trying to possess body.
That followed them from Africa.
He's like, shit, these niggas finna live good. I'm coming too.
That pizza out there? I ain't never had no pizza before.
Yeah.
What do you guys?
My frequent flyer miles real quick.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Yes.
Let us know on the podcast, man. Let us know on the Facebook page. Let us know on any platform, the IG. So, yeah, tell us what you think.
Yeah, I think they left it very open-ended.
That's I like when movies end like that. It creates a dialogue.
Anything you want to get off your chest, Casey?
Nah, man, I'm good, man. Until the next episode.
I think I'm good too. All right, folks, make sure you follow us on Instagram at _Bacchanal Podcast. We're on Facebook, the Bacchanal Podcast fan page. Jump in there. I'm in Facebook jail all the time, but once I get out, I'm gonna conversate with y'all again. I've been doing a 30-day bid. I think I got like 10 days left.
Jesus.
Every week, man. Like every time I get out of jail, I don't even do shit. I look and they're like, well, you posted some shit a while ago. We just now saw it. So we put you right back in jail.
Someone's snitching on you, man. What? Someone's got a gun in.
Can I just serve jail time for all my offenses all at once? Nope. They're like, nah, bro. We gonna get you every time. So if I post 5 bad things back to back, am I gonna go to jail every time I come out? They're like, well, we got you for the 5th. We're gonna put you back in jail now for the 4th thing. We just saw it.
Someone gunning for you, man.
I don't know. There has to be a way for them to fix the algorithm. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, what else do we have? Oh, send us an email at thebacchanalsquad@gmail.com. Any questions? You want to be a guest? It seems like people don't want that free copy of that Batman Death in the Family. Because iTunes reviews been kind of slim here.
Oh, okay. We'll figure something out for that.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to give away stuff, and they're like, nah, I don't think I'm ready for it.
People are ski masking that movie. That's probably why.
That too.
Yeah. They're like, man, I already ski masked it. Why do I want the code?
Like, thanks, Akil, but I already got it, man.
Yeah, exactly. Anyhow.
I don't know. I'll come up with another giveaway.
Yeah.
Give away something. Black Friday's coming up. I'll come up with something.
All right,
yep, that's it for me.
Yeah, man. That's it for me,
All
too.
right, this is the Bacchanal Podcast, y'all. Peace.